There's Darlene. Oh, I feel like I'm on Romper Room.
Yeah,
I tested my system earlier, so.
Becky!
Oh my
So how
gosh,
many
is that
can we see
Becky
about?
actually on video?
Where is Becky? Oh, there she is.
I love it.
All right, guys, I'm going to
Came
try
prepared.
It has some really funky audio going on in the background. Give me 1 second. I'm going to sort of mute you guys on and off just so I can figure out where it's coming from.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi.
Sam, look.
Is it
Becky, what are you
All these
drinking?
people. There's like 4 people on here
Hang
right
on,
now. I don't know.
Figure out. Can you guys hear me okay?
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, you.
All right. Hold on 1
You're
second. I gotta
fine.
figure out. I have
Oh,
to
it's on
figure out
Facebook
whose
Live now.
audio is
What is that noise? Oh,
Facebook
trying
Live,
to figure it
listen.
out. Give me 1 second.
Sounds like rabbit.
Chipmunks on the line.
Well, yeah, chipmunks.
It's still going.
It sounds like.
I'm muting all of you guys one at a time. Just give me 1 second. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
I think I found it. I don't know who I just muted, but whoever that was, it worked.
Oh, that's good.
All right, I'm gonna unmute you guys one at a time. Hold on 1 second.
Lisa.
I'm gonna unmute you guys one at a time. What's going on? Meg, Kevin, David. All right, let's see. Andrew. Emma, what's going on, Emma?
I don't see Emma.
She's
I don't see
on
Emma either.
Page
I don't see
2.
them.
I see Emma.
Wait a minute.
Emma.
Father George, I think it's you. Hang on 1 second.
Yes, Father George.
I think it's Father George that's got the funky.
See Terry. Hi, Terry.
George, do me a favor. See if you can choose a different mic or put your earbuds in, because it looks like the funky audio is coming from you.
Not from the UK then.
Not from that sounds like Martin.
You only get 4 on the screen 'cause
Who
it's
is the
TV.
funky audio coming from? Not me, right?
Not Terry.
I don't even need to
Terry.
see you to know
Lisa,
that the
you
funky
look so
audio is
thrilled.
coming from you. It has nothing to do with the audio quality. It's just a funky content.
Impressed people are doing green screens.
There's Martin.
Yeah, look at Steven's got a green screen.
Hi, Martin.
I have my lanai.
This is great,
Martin.
everyone.
Hey, Mark.
I just have
Morning.
the backyard.
I'm in the backyard too.
You have your back.
Yeah,
Hi,
what the
Becca.
Can I see what you're thinking,
There's
Becky?
Jim. I saw Jim for a second.
Rita is clearly not social distancing as she has the March of the First Order behind her.
Uh-oh.
All right, let me see.
George, how you doing?
Kelly, Crystal, and Tacey, you guys get in. Caleb, what's going on?
What are Meg and BJ eating?
Wait, I'm
Oh,
scrolling.
yeah. Thanks for not sharing, Meg.
Dinner. It's our dinner.
Have enough for us
Brian,
all?
Father Christopher,
Hello.
Jason Brill, man, long time no see again. How you doing?
Amy left. Why'd Amy leave?
Lindsay, Jason Knapp. Who let that guy in?
Hello, everyone.
Who let the dogs out?
Let's see. Colin Kendall, Lisa Donato Glassner, the Dave Rashone.
Hello.
Page
Hi,
3.
Marion. Oh, hi.
Hello.
Jimmy Styles making a rare appearance.
Darlene,
There
what are
we
you
go.
drinking?
Now it's on. It's something about muting my
I needed
voice or something.
something a little bit heavier today. Oh, I love the glass. I love your glass. My daughter bought it for me. It's
Wow.
a small world.
I love it.
And it's got a little drink in it because I just found out that they all canceled their trip down to see me. So I'm a little sad right now, but I understand.
Oh, Darlene, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So this is
I have you guys.
thank you guys for being here. This is very much an experiment. I have never done this with 100 people
I've only
in
seen
the group
4.
chat and another 200 watching on Facebook. So not sure how this is going to go.
There's a lot of people
or
in
what
here,
we're going to
but
do, but
someone's in here.
we'll
Wait a second.
we will figure it. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Just fine.
Except for the ones that are muted.
Most of the time, but there's a lot of us talking, so you might want to mute us sometimes.
Yeah, I got to see if I
Oh,
can.
most of the time.
Lou!
Is there a way? Let me see. Can I
I
mute
found Lou.
everyone all at once?
Yes.
Yes,
You should be
can. I
able
think you
to.
can.
Again.
What's the over and under on how many times you're gonna mute Becky?
Oh,
And number of
So
times
if
you
you
mute
go
people.
into participants,
There you go.
Not even
Hit the
5
button.
minutes
Hold on.
in and you're already.
There you go. Silence. Only because it's a cacophony. It's a cacophony. And as long as Becky is muted, I'm perfectly happy. Now, I don't really know where to go from here. This is the very first time I've done a virtual meet of the month. And to those of you who are watching live on Facebook, I'm going to follow along on the chat there as well. So as we discuss certain topics, I don't want you guys to feel like you are left out. You are very much part of the conversation. So I know some of you said you did not get the link. I did post it in the event. I sent a message, at least I think I sent a message to everybody who RSVP'd through Facebook. So hopefully I see you guys are still, people are still popping in. We've got like 230 watching on Facebook, and it looks like we have a full house here as well. So I see there's a little Amber Bramble and a little mini Bramble off in the corner. How you doing? Jeremy Goff, good to see you guys as well. So yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do this and try and have
Brady
100
Bunch on
people.
steroids.
It's what?
It's a Brady Bunch on steroids.
Who unmuted Becky? How did she get the ability to unmute herself?
We can all unmute ourselves.
Oh my
Yes.
God,
Yes.
it's anarchy.
Live on Facebook.
And
There
the
you go.
chaos
Wait a minute,
begins.
everybody
Unmute
smile.
yourself, Lou.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'm in the chat. I was like, where did I go?
Let's mute Lou.
You guys don't need me here. I'll just see you. Take care. Have fun.
Hi,
Steve-
Emma.
Pete Williams, how you doing?
How are you?
I wonder how you can hear each other in here.
This is gonna be
I like that.
Corey
Like-
Bassett. Wait a minute, Corey Bassett. I love your back. You win the virtual background award for the D23 Expo Spider-Man background.
Uh-oh, something's happening again.
So Father George, it's
Father
definitely
George is on again.
got some funky, like it sounds like Gus and Jacques, like squeaky little mice, like chirping into your microphone. Do you have earbuds?
Hi, Becky.
Okay.
I know you
One.
somewhere.
You have one earbud, or you have one mouse.
Yeah.
Andrew.
And now I'm hearing myself on echo.
Yeah, I hear him echoing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so it's like the
Yeah.
old radio
I'm on.
days, like turn down your radio.
Like
It's like when you call into
crazy.
the radio station. Colin, I'll explain to you what radio is offline.
Steam-driven wireless.
Jimmy. Where's
Jimmy's
Jimmy?
muted.
I didn't see Jimmy.
Jimmy's on
Jimmy's
like page
there.
6. Like
Jimmy's
literally and
muted.
figuratively, Jimmy's on page 6.
I missed
He's
him.
But you can scroll
There
through
he
it.
is.
Look at how relaxed Deanna looks.
I know.
Deanna's been drinking since noon.
I'm
should've
sure.
had my
That
own
right
party
now.
down
I'm
here.
sure that Becky is not the only one who's been day drinking since the quarantine started.
I should have had my own party down here while Lou was upstairs.
Hi, Deanna.
Hi there.
Today was a
Jason
reason.
says I can remove
That's
the ability
Becky.
for participants to unmute themselves in settings. Can I just do it for Becky? Can I just sort of
Hey.
block off one
No.
You know what? I
person?
think you kind
Leave
of need
Becky
me today.
alone.
What's in the mug then, Becky?
Lewis.
Lisa, who are you texting?
I believe we're on
Lewis.
Facebook Live.
Becky's having a heartbeat.
I'm on Facebook. You see me talking? I can't even hear
I
myself
need
talk.
a
though.
group
Here.
hug right
We
now.
can
I
take
don't.
it.
Because everyone's talking and it's like,
I know this
Weird.
is a little bit. So wait,
You know?
somebody
What were we
hang on one
thinking?
second. Somebody just sent me a message. Wait a minute. Colin says the
iPhone.
national quarantine just got extended to April 30th.
Yes.
Yep.
Happened about an hour ago.
Yep.
Yep. That's correct.
yes, my audio's not working.
Quarantines till
Should be on. It is not
Expecting.
off, so
It did
should
for
be
you
working.
guys in the States, so expecting to happen in the UK as well.
So I was gonna say to Emma and anybody who's overseas, is it the same thing overseas as it is here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it basically just started last week. We were told to do social distancing. A lot of
I've been
people
social
ignored
distancing
it.
every day. So
So basically from Monday we were not allowed to leave our houses unless it was for shopping, essential work, and we're allowed to exercise once a day.
Hmm.
Anybody supposed to be in Disney World right now? Anybody supposed to be on vacation right now?
A few weeks.
I was supposed to be there in 39 days. That's
watching it or
I was supposed to be interviewing there.
Supposed to be at Disneyland, so I wore my ears anyways.
So wait, who just said they were supposed to be interviewing here?
That's
Me.
it.
Jim.
I
There's a lot of
I need more than me. I need
talking.
you gotta tell me.
It was Jim.
You need more than
Yeah,
me.
me. Can't wait to see myself come up on the screen because it'd be interesting.
Yeah,
think-
so I know for the people who were supposed to be there, I know I saw the somewhat confusing initially announcement from Disney in terms of what they were going to do for the people who were supposed to be
I
on
think you're allowed to
vacation. Becky, in 10 words or less, can you give us the meat of what that announcement is and how it affects only, I know, how it affects only the people, because it's only for people who had existing reservations. Like, give us the Reader's Digest condensed version of that.
Correct. So this has been I've been drinking from a fire hose all day today.
Becky, you've been drinking from a fire hose for years. Like,
Come on.
Fair point.
wait,
So,
speaking of
fire
which,
hose.
just so Becky doesn't feel like she's alone, I did bring along a special guest who has not been here in a long time. I'm breaking out this guest just in case of emergency.
no.
And this guest's
And
name,
it was
Yeah.
fireball.
to call him my little fireball, just in
I know.
case.
So basically, we're in harmony right now because Fireball has been my best friend.
Fireball, huh?
Fireball.
And is that what we're doing? Give me
Give me
five.
five.
Grant
Go get
Wood
mine, I
and
guess.
me
Say
for
it
your
with some
fireball.
other
That's
nice
pretty neat.
sweet drink that you like to drink.
Well, listen, we're
Right
not
now
allowed to
it's
go anywhere,
Fireball.
so you might as well.
Bailey's,
I've
it's got
got it in
Fireball, it's
Fireball,
got
huh?
mine. All right, so basically what happened is they made this decision to close until indefinitely, right? So out of an abundance of caution, they've decided to move it all the way out till May 31st. That doesn't mean that they're going to be closed till May 31st.
Whose dog is that?
Point, they've decided to kill off anybody till May 31st. What? We saw several things.
What are you doing?
Someone has a tiki
Oh, wait,
room.
hold on one second. Let me just, I'm gonna mute everybody again, and then I'm gonna unmute Becky just so she can
Okay, bye,
do her thing real quick. Hang on. All right. I can't believe I've done this. I've allowed Becky to be the only one to speak. God help
Yeah,
me.
isn't that funny? What's fun is I can actually unmute myself. So I love you.
All right, so go ahead.
All right. So basically, when they made this announcement to extend this offer, because when they said it's going to be indefinite closing, which doesn't mean it's going to be closed till May 31st, but then again, it might. So in order to stop the fear and what should I do with my vacation in April or May and so forth, they decided to go ahead and roll out this offer to encourage guests who are booked in April or May to go ahead and move their vacation to June 1st to September 30th. So what happened was a lot of the bloggers and people online posted the information. It wasn't well written. So the information about it only applying to the people who booked between March 16th and May 31st would have the opportunity to book this package. Unfortunately, many of the online resources ran out with it and didn't really clarify that piece very well. So everybody thought that there was a free dining from June 1st to September 30th. And the phone lines were so clogged that literally Disney's phone system shut down. It broke down. And this is something that you can't book online because you have to give them your reservation number to prove that you were booked in that window and that you didn't cancel before March 1st. So there's been a ton of confusion out there. It has been a challenge, but I think we finally got a handle on it. But the great thing that we found out, the hold times, by the way, the longest hold time we had was 6 hours and 22 minutes.
Which is one agent waiting on hold about one specific client for 6 hours. Like,
yes, 6 hours and 23 minutes. So yeah, that was fun. But we do work as a team. So everybody came together, and that one agent that got through, then a whole bunch of other agents gave the information to them, and we worked together to make those conversions. So we went to the leadership and said, we have people out there who can't hold for this long, and they've booked directly with you and they can't get through. And so they've allowed us the ability to move them for you. If you book directly with Disney, you can work with us. We can move your reservation forward for you, so you don't have to do this. So that was my scramble today, was trying to get that in process. But the biggest problem was just getting the word out that this offer wasn't available for anybody. They never intended for it to go out to the masses. They sent emails to the people that it applied to. Not everybody got emails yet, but they were hoping that agents would just reach out to them, or Disney directly would reach out to them, and it wouldn't hit the internet. I think Disney always forgets that the internet exists. So of course it took off like wildfire, and they had a significant amount of people who were very disappointed after holding 2 or 3 hours to find out that they didn't qualify.
Yeah, obviously this was something that they must have tried to put together very fast, and maybe
so
a couple could have been a little bit clearer, because there was, I mean, I was getting questions, and I'm like, I'm the last guy to ask. Like, you need to go to, like, I sent them to you because you would have a better handle on exactly what the intent was and the applicability was, it who it was specifically applicable for, because I wasn't 100% clear the first time I read it.
Yeah, they really wanted to just get people who were booked in that April or May period, if they are uneasy and they want their vacation, to have an out, so that they weren't just waiting. Because right now we know that you guys, Orlando's locked down, well, not locked down, but your shelter in place, whatever they're calling it for you guys. Here it's a stay-at-home order till April 9th for you guys. Is that right?
Wasn't it later? Isn't it like April 17th or something?
Did it extend?
No,
Okay.
it's April 9th. April 9th at like
It'll probably extend now
11
that
p.m. or something like that. So more like April.
Finally,
9th.
now
I literally don't know what day of the week it is, so I'm the last guy to ask.
I did notice somebody
Orlando
asked-
proper was April 9th. The theme parks had
was
announced
that?
closure through 18 or 19, depending on which theme park.
Right. So obviously with this new order from
Yeah.
the White House today, that it's going to go
I
all the way
know,
until April
doing
30th,
something.
that's going to be an issue with that date. So I think they were just trying to give an out to anybody who was uneasy or unsure. And I did see a
iPad to
question that
everybody.
came through from somebody that asked about DCL. We still do not have any information yet about Disney Cruise Line. We're hoping it's going to be Monday or Tuesday, if with fingers crossed, because what they want to do is make their announcement all at once. And there's a big problem now with Alaska, because Canada has closed their shipping ports till July 1st. So they're scrambling to figure out what to do with the West Coast ship. And they don't want to piecemeal it or let it drip, drip, drip with all the information. They want to do it all at once. So as soon as they have that piece pulled together, we'll hear about DCL. But it's clear that they probably are not going to sail until at least May.
We were talking about this in the nation call the other day, as some of the dates from other places were coming down. Like, I just did not and still don't see logistically how that, hang on one second, how that could be possible at all. Just who's ever sharing your screen, I'm just gonna,
It's Kathleen Musgrave is the winner of sharing her screen. Come on down.
be very careful when you share your
Yeah.
screen, because you don't know what's going to be on there. Hang on, Kathleen,
maybe
I'm going to try and stop sharing your screen if that's okay. Nope. Kathleen Musgrave. Hang on one second.
Oh, well, the other thing I can talk about while you guys are doing that is
Go ahead.
Disney World came out with their offer to move people late last night, and we dealt with it today.
Excuse me. If you heard that, who knows?
Yeah, hi.
Get up, mute your microphone.
Hey. Wait,
So-
am I on?
Wait,
Disney,
hold on. Wait, this is absolute chaos. Wait a minute. I have to try and figure out, Kathleen Musgrave, I love you to death, but I've got you. You have to stop sharing your screen, because every time I
You want
stop
to?
it, you keep starting it up again.
give me some
Wait, someone heard
admin
me.
power over here, would you?
Oh
What
my
is it?
God.
Top 10 things that will never happen.
Oh, come on. I can help with the muting and unmuting. I can help kick people off of screens.
Hey,
I think this is the only time they're doing
I
this.
know how to use Zoom, FYI.
this is my first time using Zoom. So,
Okay.
Kind of feels like a work meeting, but more fun.
There we go.
Yeah, because we
All
have
right.
Yay!
Okay, so
Oh, no.
the last piece that I was going to add is that World did last night, and the afterflow is today. Tomorrow, I think we're going to see it from Disneyland as well. So I don't know. Obviously, they don't have a dining plan there, so we're not going to see a free dining. But I think we're going to see some sort of incentive to move people who are booked in April and May.
Oh wait, I was just on a minute ago. I'm on a weird.
Lou, did you mute yourself?
No.
Lou, you're on mute if you are talking to the rest of the group.
I'm on mute.
No,
No.
It sounded like you were.
I'm sure there's some people in here who'd be very happy to hear me on mute. So
This happens on every work meeting I go on.
do you normally have work meetings with 100 people?
That's a lot of
I work for Discover Card, so sometimes honestly.
Oh wow, Discover.
I'm in telecom. Happens all the time.
We're
Yeah,
using
so
Zoom
you're
for
the
all of
one.
our work meetings, so it's super fun.
I use WebEx, and you have to always tell people they're on mute. Sorry.
I'm trying to watch here, and I'm trying to read the comments in Facebook as well too, just to make sure.
Oh, the other thing I can clear up, a lot of people keep asking, does this apply to DVC or points? They do not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are no offers for anybody that have booked on points. So if you did, you're just going to need to move your thing forward. There was a letter that was given or sent out today to all DVC members to explain to them about how their reservations are going to be handled, but there's no offer for rebooking at this point.
It's all right. We were in a nation call the other night, and somebody said, there was, and I'm not a DVC member, so I don't understand the banking and sort of rolling over of points and how that might possibly affect people who have had vacations now that are going to be effective that were booked on banked points. Like, are they going? I mean, I can't imagine.
They go back to from what I understand from the email that was sent to us was that if your trip is coming up, they're going to cancel it each week. They're going to cancel affected trips, and then they're going to put the points back from where they originated from. So if they're from this use year, if they're from a bank use year, whatever it's going to be, it's going to go back to the use year that you utilized in order to book your trip.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
At this point, because when we were talking about it the other night, Lou, they hadn't made any decisions, and clearly last night and early this morning, they finally made some decisions on how they were going to handle it. So I think no one's going to be losing out per se, but it's going to be an inconvenience for a lot of people because clearly a lot of the resorts have been booked for summer and going forward, and it's not easy to use points anymore. So and then add on this offer to get people to book during that time period, it's going to be difficult to get availability.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and you have to be understanding too. Like, Becky, you and I have been talking privately about, some of the communication and things like that, but there are so many moving parts to this. It's not just DVC, it's not just DCL, it's not just people with reservations and the travel agent. I mean, I can't imagine the chaos that is existing right now on the Disney side of things.
Oh, absolutely, because they're trying to work out so many different logistics between not only reservations and availability, but they're also working out park ops and cast members and all of the moving parts that have to go on with schedules, and then pull in the unions on top of that. So this is a huge challenge. I can't imagine what goes on in corporate right now.
Yeah, and they have, cast members who are working remotely. They're not there. I mean, again, when they do decide and when they are able to start finding a date certain that things will open up, think about the logistics of the 5,000 college program cast members that were let go, all the foodstuffs and the food stores that have to be replenished from ground zero, like training and everything else that has to go on. I wonder what sort of a lead time there's going to have to be, and well as getting guests booked for, if they open June 1st, how far in advance will we know that guests will be able to start booking resort room rates?
Right.
Fellow Floridians, we might be getting some really sweet Florida resident deals in order to do some staycations at Walt Disney World.
One of the things that really tipped us off that this was coming was that all of a sudden we weren't able to make any room reservations in April or May. And then all of a sudden we were not able to make any dining reservations whatsoever until June 1st. So this little cascade of shutting things down is probably their best way of going about it at this point. Like you said, when everything comes back online, it's not going to be like closed and open. They've got to have some ramp up time.
I mean, better that they say June 1st, and then they can say, look, things have changed. Now all of a sudden we could open May 15th, and then sort of let the booking floodgates begin, and then give people time to sort of get, world back up to, turn the lights back on and get things going again.
Agreed. And another piece of confusion about that offer is that it wasn't just a vacation package. If you had a room only booking as well, you could book into this, but you would need to have a minimum of a 2-day base ticket added to it to get the free dine.
So Victoria Alicia says the only job, she's in the Facebook chat, says the only jobs available right now on DisneyCareers.com is for Disney streaming positions.
That makes sense.
Really, the only people that are winning right now is Netflix, Disney Plus, and Hulu.
They are still allowing you to make fast passes, though. If you're 60 days out, they'll allow that still.
Yeah, because up to a couple of days ago, we were able to make we saw fast passes available for April 1st. So I've got my Rise of Resistance boarding group. I'm ready to go. Like, I'm in.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
It's I think part of the problem is they had a challenge technology wise. They couldn't just shut it down because people still out of that time period of 180 days out, they still needed to be able to book, and they were having a difficult time trying to figure out how to navigate that. I think we'll see that shut off here soon, though.
Donna Marie said, the Donnie and Marie say, do you think they'll do a staged opening, Kingdom first, then resorts? I don't. I think it's all or nothing. Like, I really do think, they're going to open up the gates and everything, because I think that'll create even a more difficult logistical challenge. Like, you can come to Walt Disney World, but half of it's closed. That would prevent, I think, a lot of people from coming. So I could imagine maybe Disney Springs opening first, because it's less logistics to worry about. Giving the operating participants the option to open at a certain date. But in terms of, I mean, and I welcome any conversation. I can't imagine it being just piecemeal openings.
Yeah, I mean, that's the feeling I'm getting also, that Disney Springs will come up first to allow the rest of the parks time to get back, because they're going to have to do maintenance. They're going to have to do safety checks and all that other stuff to bring everything up online. So Disney Springs,
not to mention people.
Easiest.
What about the college program people? Don't they have to come back?
No, right. The full timers and part timers are just going to be getting more hours.
The new wave of college program and international program were supposed to come in on April 20th. So I don't know what the new I don't know what the new communication is, but from people that I know who are doing it, that was the last thing that they've heard. So they haven't heard anything else new yet.
Becky, have they announced yet what they're using as criteria to determine when they're going to reopen?
I don't think that they have actual set criteria. I think it's going to be driven by the virus itself and by the local government, how they're going to react. I do know that many of the cruise lines are just trying to push out as far as they can within a safe trajectory. So the cruise lines are using, some of them that I know of are using following the trajectory of South Korea, because they are following the same level that we are. So theirs was 8 weeks of total locking down, and then they were able to flatten that curve to bring it down. So I think they're kind of going off that as a time period. But other than that, it's just going to totally depend on the numbers and see how this thing spreads and see how quickly it can slow down.
So Kelly, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was talking to someone and we were saying that we definitely can't see Disney going back before schools go back here in Orange County. Like, we've got to have schools back first. And we don't know when schools are going back.
Do you? So I'm not sure that I see schools going back in Orange County this year in Florida. It's just, I mean, we're already talking about May. I mean, what are they going to go back for 2 weeks? Go back for 3 weeks? If the distance learning is working,
Hey,
there
Lou.
might not be a need to. Yep.
It's so disappointing. My son's a senior, and it's really been really tough.
Mine too.
To not have a graduation. It's absolute. I mean, and if we think about it, these children, I was pregnant with Tate and he was born 2 months after 9/11, and now this, I mean, the memories that they have, unfortunately, are tragic. And, it really puts into perspective family and how important family is. I mean, and this whole trial of being home. Troy, can you turn that off? This whole trial of being home with our family has been good and bad. I mean, two children in the house have, it's been tough because we're all working in here, but we're learning new things and a new normal. And I hope that this isn't a constant. I hope that this isn't a new normal. I hope it's just normal for now, and so, be mindful of those poor students who can't go back to school. It's so tough here. I mean, they're all on computers, and my son has to have a 200-page essay, but a 200-word essay, excuse me.
I was gonna say 200.
200 pages would have been a novel. But it's been such a blessing in a way to have him home, and we need to look at the positive stuff of this virus. That's all my comment is.
I get you, and I feel you, and I agree. Although I'm sure there are some moms and dads who right now are in the process of being a homeschool teacher and babysitter and trying to remotely work and everything else.
I would be fired. I would be fired. I am not a teacher. I grew up with the principal for a dad, but I have not one education. I train corporately, but I don't train publicly. And so it's definitely different.
Right. None of us have training to be a teacher and an educator, and it's different. Look, like, thank God my kids are older because it's so far so good. Like, we haven't murdered each other yet, but if I had to start teaching them every day, I might not be responsible for my actions. And so God bless all of you, especially if you have younger kids and are now sort of tasked with trying to sound like what you're talking about, because if I don't, I wouldn't be able to teach everything that they're learning. But, and Shannon says it's hard on the teachers too. So I think we all have a newfound respect and appreciation for
I was going to say, doesn't it really show you the value of teachers need to be paid more?
Yes, teachers are underpaid.
Nurses need to be paid more.
Totally agree with that.
You also just made me realize that my 6th graders that I student taught are now graduating high school. So I'm old now. And I don't like it.
Somebody asked in the chat, and forgive me, it scrolled by, so I don't remember who asked it. If I thought that there was going to be some type of a special celebration in Walt Disney World when the parks reopened, or is it just going to be a regular day? My gut reaction tells me no, there's not going to be anything special. There's not going to be pins and buttons, and I think the guests and the cast are just going to be so happy to be back. I think that's going to be, I think the energy and the vibe is going to drive the celebrations that don't need something marked on a piece of paper, if that makes any sense. I think so. Dale just said it. Yeah, it's going to be a lot just to get the parks open, let alone think about how do we celebrate this. I think it's just this idea of getting back to the old normal, as it were.
Lou, are they doing any kind of like maintenance in the park? So is anyone going in and looking after like flower beds or cleaning or anything like that? Surely it's not just being.
Oh, I
left.
drove through
ahead, Michelle.
I drove through on Wednesday, and the only Alex was actually practicing driving, so we drove through. And the only activity that I saw from the driving around that I did was security.
Wow. Okay.
So I was contacted by 2 construction workers just privately. And one was the first day he messaged me, said, we're continuing to work. I'm working on Tron right now. We're getting our work done. We're keeping distant from one another, but getting things done at the same kind of pace as before for all intents and purposes. And the next day he said we were all just pulled off the job. We were let go and we were sent home. So somebody told me this the other day, that they drove through, they came up and were sort of going the back way to get, north of Magic Kingdom. And I didn't see it for myself, but said that the lights were off at the Contemporary. Like all of the outdoor lights were off. The only light that was on was a single light in the private dining room at California Grill, which I have to imagine was a very eerie sight. It's one thing to see the buses lined up and empty toll plazas and things like that. It's something else to sort of see the entire resort closed. Tacey, you're raising your hand. How polite.
Yes.
Canadians are so polite.
Hi, Tacey.
Hi, guys. Lou, do you think that going forward, this is going to change queuing and hygiene in the parks? Like, do you think that this will change how we live at the parks now?
No, I still expect there to be really smelly guys on the monorail in the summer. Like, that's not going to change at all. So I think, and I'd like all of your feedback on this. I think when we're allowed to go out, right? They open up the doors and we're allowed to go out and be normal again and go do the things we take for granted, not just going to the parks, but going to a restaurant, going to the parks, going shopping, sitting down for a meal, going to Walt Disney World. I wonder how long this idea of this forced social distancing continues to attach to us, meaning we're so used to sort of, I've heard people say, as you're running on the trail, you sort of are running around one another. If you're in the store, there's X's on the ground at Target, sort of how to queue. Are we going to have this continuing and ongoing fear or concern about getting close to people? When that first dude sneezes in line in The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, is everybody going to stop and look at that guy and wonder and worry? I don't know. I think there probably will be. I think there still will be some additional hesitation. I don't think we're going to see people in, hazmat suits in Publix, which is practically what they're wearing right now. There was a guy gloved up with like the big Bane mask. He looked like Darth Vader walking through Publix. I don't think it's going to be like that anymore, but I could see people maybe not being as close. Me, on the other hand, I'm going just the opposite. Like, I'm having hug withdrawal. So, like, bring them on. I'm ready.
When
Bring on your
the
hugs.
parks reopen, though, do you think, when you went to Shanghai and you saw people with masks and stuff, do you think that will come to North America as a new norm?
Listen, I will tell you, and this is many years ago. What was it, Becky? It was the first time we went to Japan was 3 years ago. And in one of the stores, they sold these really cute, like Winnie the Pooh masks. And like, because the Japanese are so cute and kitschy. I see an opportunity here. Like, I absolutely see.
It wasn't just in the stores, though. Remember, at Disney, they were selling them. Remember?
That's what I mean. Like, at the stores in Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yes.
Yeah. Carlos,
You see it
your
more
hand,
in
or you just give me the
Disneyland,
peace
too.
sign? Oh, hold on. You're on mute. Wait a minute. There you go.
Okay, now the question, Lou, is actually following this thinking about queues. Don't you think that for at least for the first phase after parks open, that we're gonna see something like a virtual queue being expanded to other attractions? It makes sense.
So look, I think what they're doing with Rise of the Resistance works. I don't want to say flawlessly, because nothing is flawless, but I think it works very, very, very well for those people, those guests that know how to do it. And there's no gaming of the system. Everybody's on equal footing as long as you're there in the parks. Can they roll something like that out across the board? Possibly. I would have to sort of think it out. Like, would that work for, every single attraction? Do we want to have to do that? Because I think, Carlos, the thing that we don't want to lose is the impulse to be walking through the park and go, you know what, come on, let's go ride Small World. Let's go do this, and not have to have it so strategized. You know what word I'm trying to say? I don't get out much. I don't think that we want to get to a point where it has to be so incredibly planned, because it does take some of the fun out of it, and just being able to do things on the fly.
Mm-hmm. What about just a basic Purell before and after each ride? There's a lot of touching that goes along in Walt Disney World, whether it's the queue, a ride, or a test track of the touch screen. So a before and after Purell station would be good.
So I think those hand sanitizer stations that were there will probably remain, maybe even become a little bit more permanent. I think it's going to be not a requirement, but I think that's something, Jim, that people are going to do. Like, I think we're just going to be used to, putting hand sanitizer on all the time. I actually have a friend who he got off the very last sailing of the Disney Dream. Said that there was about 40% of the ship was full. They had gotten all these upgrades, but what was really interesting was that you couldn't touch anything, meaning you go out onto deck 9, 10, go on to deck 10 to the soda stations, and they were roped off, and there was a cast member there in latex gloves. And if you wanted a ginger ale, you wanted a water, he or she would have to grab the cup, do it, give it to you, and then wipe it down. On the Aqueduct, there was a cast member in front of the people, a crew member who was in front of the people who were online, with gloves on and hand sanitizing or like sanitizing towels, and were wiping the railings on the way up. When he got to the top, switched off with another cast member. She or he on the way down did the exact same thing. Even any of the touchscreen stations in Becky's lounge, the concierge lounge, no one was. It's funny because it's true. No one was allowed to do any of the touchscreen ordering. A crew member had to do it for you. Do I think it's going to continue on the opposite side of this? Probably not, but there might be some hesitation from the guest part in wanting to do that, or being more vigilant in, washing your hands. Look, I wash my hands like before all this, which is odd to me. Why at the beginning everybody's like, wash your hands. Like, what were you not doing? Was nobody washing their hands before this? Why do I need a meme to tell? Right? Why do I need a meme to tell me to wash my hands? But I think, as kids come off the attractions, moms and dads and brothers and sisters are going to be more about the hand sanitizers and bringing wipes maybe with them to the parks to, to take care of the people in their group.
I also think that there's going to be some hesitation, especially this year, because these types of viruses tend to come back in the fall. And even if it's not this virus, our flu viruses are going to start hitting in the fall. So I have a feeling that this is going to be not the new normal, but I think we're going to see more face masks. I think we're going to see more hand sanitizer. I think we're going to see more, being a little bit more.
And Paul Clark says, and Paul, I agree with you, he says he's in Facebook. They're probably going to add UV sterilization or fogging the rides at night when the parks are closed. They're investigating adding UV disinfection to airplanes. I think you're right. I mean, certainly the cleaning and sanitizing processes are going to be increased, even after we think this is over or on the way out or whatever it is, because again, the last thing that Disney can have is it be a location where something bad happens to a guest.
My one thing that I think that they might change is bringing, when on the cruises, when you walk in, they have you sanitize your hands right before eating. I think that might be brought. That's the one thing that I think might be brought over to like World and Land, because you walk into a restaurant and they have the stations there. They might make it like where it's more of a requirement, just how it is on the cruises. That's because that's more of a control. I'm all for everyone being cleaner. That's fine.
Jason Knapp in his infinite wisdom says people will still be gross. So.
No, please, no. I'm like Monica from Friends. I'm like thriving in this environment right now.
I think, Amanda, I think you're right.
Question here.
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. When somebody speaks, just tell me. Just say your name so I can spot you.
It's
I was
Jeremy.
Amanda.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, I got a question for you. Does this mean we have to stop eating off of trash cans now? Because that's going to be a problem.
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Hand sanitizer.
It's like VIP table.
Put hand sanitizer on the trash.
However, I will. I won't tell you. I've been working on a solution to that. So hopefully now I can find it before the parks open up again.
What's the solution?
I can't tell you that.
WDW radio.
We have to bring our own trash
We
cans.
all
from now
have
on.
trays that hang over our neck on a lanyard.
Trash cans.
And we have a tray that
Um,
we carry around with us to eat.
Bill Swan in Facebook says China is using roving ultraviolet robots to do, I guess, to do content.
End of buffets.
Oh God.
So Lou, it's Crystal.
Yes, ma'am.
One of the things I was going to say is, Amanda, I agree with you. I think that's something that you'll see that comes over. I also agree with everybody else who's kind of spoken a little bit. I think what you're going to see happen, especially from a Disney standpoint, is over the next 12 months, because it's going to take us that long to get some sort of a vaccine or something, you're going to see things like you were talking about, Lou, where the staff member is placing the order on the touch screen, where the staff member is getting you the beverage, because they're going to try to stop the second wave of this, whether that happens now or whether a resurgence happens in the fall. They're already talking about those things here in Canada, and there could be a resurgence before we get to summer and then another one come the fall. So I think you'll see Disney, whenever they open, take those additional precautions for 6 months, a year, and then I think we'll get back to what we're used to as the normal.
Yeah, you know, the hardest part about all this, and somebody in Facebook is asking a question too about, you know, an upcoming trip. You know, so much of this is just wait and see. Like we just don't know. And we're all trying to figure out the answers to questions that nobody right now has the answers to. And to Sarah Sugar, who is in Facebook, has a question about a trip coming up this fall. Sarah, I would reach out to Becky via Facebook Messenger or on the Mouse Fan travel page, and she could probably help you specifically with your travel, specific travel related.
And again, if anybody has questions about their travel, even if you did or did not book with us, it's fine. Just
I will give you Becky's home phone number and her cell phone number.
Only if we hand out yours too. No, I'm available on Facebook Messenger as quickly as I am on anything else. So please feel free.
So where do you let's turn it around and make things a little bit happier, because it's sad and it's getting to a part. It went from, and understand what I mean by this. When this was happening somewhere else and it was about somebody who ate a bat, it was funny and there was memes, and then it went from funny to like disturbing and then scary and then sad, and like there's all these things. It's compounding, and it's now we're adding, frustration, fear, some anger that comes out. So let's sort of flip it around. The date doesn't matter. Let's assume that we know when whatever it is, and Disney's World is going to open up. Where do you go first? Like, I want to know, what does your first moment in Disney look like? Where do you go, and what do you do? And just have at it.
Hi, it's Darlene.
Darlene Nagy, formerly of West Seneca, New York.
Yes, it is. Lou, we talked about this the other night. I talked about it with Stuart and Kurt and stuff. And we talked about how we would do it. My first thing is going to be to walk through Magic Kingdom if that's the first park that opens. And I know I'm going to be in tears. I'm normally in tears when I walk into the park because it's my favorite park and the first park I ever went to. But with saying that, I think that I would definitely be going back, and hopefully It's a Small World would be open and I would be able to ride that ride first and get my cheeseburger spring rolls from the cart.
Which is actually one of the last things that we had. A few of us went to Magic Kingdom on the Sunday that it closed, and one of our last meals in Magic Kingdom was the egg roll carts. What was it? It was a pepperoni pizza roll and cheeseburger. Darlene, I don't know because I bought for everybody and I didn't even get to taste any. So everybody else tell me.
I love the cheeseburger. It's delicious. Oh my gosh. Lou, when it opens, we're going.
It was cheeseburger and pepperoni pizza. And actually Small World, I think, was the last thing that we rode, right?
What? Oh yeah, it was the last thing. Oh.
Yeah.
So
My
sad.
favorite ride.
Ashley, what's yours? Ashley Grissom.
To be honest with you, I'm really excited about the new Cirque show. It'll be really amazing. I can't wait to see it as soon as it opens. Whenever it opens.
Yeah, I know. And it's when does it open? Because they were close. I mean, they were a couple of weeks out and I think they had just started rehearsals in the theater. They just brought the troupe down from Toronto. I believe it was Toronto to start doing rehearsal in the theater. So anybody else? Where do you go first?
Me, Amanda.
Amanda, where do you go?
We got engaged with Cinderella's Wishing Well, so it's like the place that we go to every single time, every trip. We go there and we visit, so that'd probably be my first stop, and I'm gonna cry, so I'm gonna stop talking.
No, really, we want you to cry. The more crying, the better.
I've already cried today. I don't know why today hit me so hard, but like I watched Paint the Night, and then I watched Magic Happens, and then I started listening to Happily Ever After, and I started crying. And Alex is like, "You haven't seen Magic Happens. Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "Cause it's closed. It's not just that I'm not there. It's that it's just completely closed. And like no one's there." And it just hit me that it's closed. So no more crying.
It's sad, right?
Good.
Like even though you wouldn't necessarily be there, it's just sad that it's closed because again, this is this place that it doesn't close. This is this.
The
place of
world has to be
escapism
very
and comfort
messed
and
up.
happiness, right? Like nothing has ever really penetrated this. We talk about this bubble around Disney World. Nothing really ever penetrates it, and this is really the first time.
So when you told me you get nervous if you're like,
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying it's really sad when your spouse doesn't understand why you're crying, and they make fun.
Oh, and the bad part is he's listening to me. He's right over there. He's been there more than me.
What?
How many times have you been to Disney like in your lifetime? I don't even know anymore. And he's sitting there, he's like, "You haven't seen this. Why are you crying during this?" I'm like, "Cause it's just all gone."
Exactly.
I had a breakdown today. I've been very positive and like I made a list of all the positive things that can come out of this and like what I can do during this and everything. And so today was just like my bad day. I had a bad day.
Right. I think we all do. And I've been talking a lot over the past couple of weeks, especially with a lot of entrepreneurs and solopreneurs and people who work from home just about, and I did one of these with people we have a private Facebook group for people who either I've worked with one-on-one or Mastermind or Momentum, because I knew that what I was feeling was probably not unique to me. This sense of, this thought that we have, oh, well, this is great. I have all this time now. I'm going to get so much done. And the opposite is happening. There's this sadness. There is this frustration. There is this almost spiraling down of I'm not getting anything done. And I'm mad that I'm not getting anything done, which means I'm continuing not getting anything done. And I'm drowning my sorrows in Doritos, which may or may not be a personal story, but you can apply it to every, but the productivity level has decreased dramatically because I think there's not just this concern and this fear, but this sadness. So instead of saying, God, I need to work harder because, I need to make up for income that's being lost, there is this, I don't know, there's this weight that people are feeling.
Lou, it's part of the grief process. I mean, we've lost a lot. We've lost...
I have not lost anything, Becky. I've gained at least 17 pounds in the past 2 weeks.
Well, that's because you're going out and getting takeout to support your local economy.
Exactly. You think I like doing this? You think I like eating like the way I am?
Lou, your sacrifices are being noted. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are a giver. There's no denying about that.
We've lost so much that we hold dear. I mean, the one thing that has done that I love is it's brought families together. Marriages may or may not survive this. I know that a friend of mine, Kristen, was talking last night about her daughter was talking about killing her and going to live with Grammy. She's like 4. So, but we've lost.
Hold on, I need to mute my
Because
phone.
there's
I'm
only
laughing.
look, there's only so many there's only so many games you can play and things you can bake. And yes, everybody, look, thank God. Thank you, sweet baby Jesus, for the internet. Could you imagine if there was no internet?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the murder rate
I would
be
need a pen
through.
pal.
I have a question.
Forget it.
I mean, we've lost the ability to go in the parks. We've lost the ability to really go to the grocery store and feel comfortable. We've lost the ability to just go, hey, I've got a weekend. Let's fly to Disneyland. It's the grief process that we're all feeling.
Well, and that's why I did this. I'm like, I'm not going to just cancel the meet of the month because I felt like we needed a place to come together, right?
I think all so happy too because I always miss your meet of the month by like 3 days or 4 days.
I'm not saying that's by design,
that.
Amanda, but
Hey,
so mean.
I'm gonna find you.
But I did, like, that was the whole point of doing this. Like, and there was a little, look, just so you know, like, peek behind the curtain. If anybody's ever gone live before, I get this question, like, how do you not know? You're always nervous before you hit go live, right? You always get a little bit of butterfly. And tonight I'm like, I have no plan. I have no agenda. I don't really know. This was very much an impulse thing, much like the 40-hour show. I'm like, I'm going to do a virtual meet of the month. Clue about logistics, what we were going to talk, like how we were going to do it. But I just, at the end of the day, I said, I feel like we need this. Like we need this place to come together. And I've been talking to a lot of other people about that same thing. Look, you guys know me, you know us. The most important, look, what I do, it's not, I don't create content, right? I want to create community, and you are the example of that, right? That's why when I go to speak, I talk about you specifically in terms of what community means. Like, this is it, right? The ability and the sense of belonging to something where you're able to come together in this comfortable, safe space without having to worry about anything else. And when it's good times and when it's bad times, it's this ability to it's not where it exists, right? It's not on Facebook. It's not a meet a month. It's just, if I'm making any sense, it's this sense of community that you guys have created.
All of us. Yeah.
It's knowing that support is there. Yeah. Especially like I'm in Utah, and on the 18th we had a big earthquake. That just adds to the pandemonium. And I know they just had a tornado in Arkansas.
We have enough going on right
and
now.
Lou,
We really don't need that.
No. Our Utah office, like I said, I work for Discover Card. So we obviously have offices everywhere. I work at headquarters. And then we got information about the Utah office. Our entire ceiling just caved in on each floor. And then the aftershock. So on the Richter scale, it was I think it was 5.7. Whoever said they were from Utah, please correct me if I'm wrong. But on the Richter scale, I think that it was 5.7, and then the aftershock was 5.4, and they don't understand it. I used to storm chase, by the way, so I'm not just rambling. But they don't understand that the aftershock can be just as bad as the actual quake itself. And
I don't think any of the aftershocks were above the 5.7, but they were.
No, it was 5.4 was the highest, I believe.
Yeah,
and Victoria was nice enough to point out on Facebook that she doesn't want to even think about hurricane season coming up.
No,
so.
Please don't say the H word.
Oh my gosh. So I saw a couple of you people doing it. You just gave, you know what? Cheers to you, right? Cheers to you, the box people and the sense of community. So whatever you're drinking over there, go ahead and raise your virtual glass. I'm not allowed to cheers. It's bad luck to cheers with to toast with water. Oh, look, Ashley and I went shopping at the same little. Let's see.
Becky and I went shopping at the same place.
However, my bottle.
A lot of people, a lot of little Fireball bottles up there.
No, I got a big Fireball bottle right there.
I need to get Fireball again.
So I think at the next meet of the month, like, instead of giving out like little magic bands or hand sanitizers, I'm just going to give out little, I'm going to give out the hand sanitizer things you can clip onto your backpack, but it'll have little mini bottles of Fireball in it.
I'll miss it by 3 days.
Okay, how about Jack Fire?
What is that?
What is that?
Fire.
Jack Daniels Fire.
Jack
It's
Daniels?
the cinnamon.
It's so much better than Fireball.
Oh, the Jack
It
Daniels
is.
cinnamon. It's so good.
It is
It's
so
really
good.
Stephen Williams, are you drinking Rumplemints? Did you steal that from Hunka Bunka Ballroom on Route 35 from 20 years ago?
Oh God.
Party
Can I
neighbor
tell a
bottle
side
gives me
note?
sweet breath all night long.
I used to go up to a certain bartender, and if I asked her for a shot of Rumpleman, she'd give me a shot of water because she knew I didn't want to drink. That's how much I don't like Rumpleman.
And that's how often you were at a bar, which nobody's judging. But
Hey, whatever. I went to college.
Stephen
Okay, now
Williams,
it's a party.
Yes, Lou.
are the courts closed in New Jersey?
Yes and no. Doing stuff virtually. Municipal courts are all closed. Criminal ones are interesting because they have to have some of them. For the most part, things are closed.
Yeah, I was trying to think when I saw you how that's affecting your practice and your ability to practice, not being able to leave the house.
Not a lot going on.
That's so interesting.
Who else has sort of been affected work-wise? Like you have never had to work from home and now you're learning something completely new. I know. So Father Christopher, I saw you raise your hand. It's, seeing, it's one thing, Disney businesses closed, Disney closes, like the church doesn't close and the church is basically closed. And now sort of, now all of a sudden you're a TV personality because you have to do your masses and stuff online. And even, sorry, go ahead.
It's been interesting. I know Father George can probably relate too. When celebrating masses with nobody there, when Pope Francis did his extraordinary Urbi et Urbi blessing and walking through St. Peter's Basilica and it being completely empty. These are places just like the sky flyovers of Disney and New York. These are places that aren't supposed to be empty, and yet to see them empty has been impactful.
It's disturbing. Yeah, it's disturbing. I see. So Katie McNamara is saying, like, she misses, and you don't hear this. She's like, I miss my coworkers. Some people haven't had any days off. People like, so I know Stan works in the food, in the grocery industry, right? So this is his first day off in 11 days. Okay, grocery stores. What's the oddest thing that you see people are hoarding, like that you can't find in grocery stores?
Tortillas.
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 Tortillas, yeah.
Are you a big tortilla eater, Becky? Like,
yes, I make tacos and stuff at home because it's quick. You can throw something together really fast, and
I hear people
can't find them.
take peanut butter a lot.
Peanut butter. There's no peanut butter, Caleb. There is no peanut butter. I'm eating crunchy peanut butter off-brand, and it's freaking me out.
I'm going to put this in the most delicate way possible. Feminine care products.
Oh, no.
Why are people hoarding these?
Why are they hoarding toilet
Because they
paper?
can't get toilet paper, and that's like a backup plan.
Oh, that's a terrible
or
idea.
or they're
gonna
turning
need a
them into
plumber
face
in a few
masks.
months.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I saw someone on CBS.
I can't love you.
I actually saw somebody try it online.
What they tried?
Stop it.
What?
Oh my god.
Seriously.
What did they do?
They were
Becky?
some hospitals were turning them into face masks.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It's so
Oh my
I mean, I
gosh.
guess. You got
So Paul
nothing.
says no steaks, no hamburger. I know there's no chicken. You can't find chicken anywhere. You can't find sugar. There's no sugar. Like we're literally
Why would
rationing
people-
sugar at my house.
Yeah.
That must be Florida because
Canned goods. Any type of canned goods.
Yeah, canned
are in, the shelves are empty.
Yeah.
Here in the UK, we've got problems with pasta, rice, flour, sugar, any staple goods, bread, almost impossible to get
Yeah, bread.
Yeah, rice.
Eggs.
I saw the rice is going eggs. Yeah, you can't get eggs.
And one of the funniest things in the UK that's missing is baked beans. They're taking all the baked beans.
But that's like your breakfast. Like that's a breakfast staple for you, isn't it?
What else are we gonna have?
They have toilet paper.
If you're gonna have baked beans, you probably need toilet paper, right? So
It kind of does help. It goes with it. I think you buy one, get one extra.
Martin, do you guys eat canned baked beans or?
Yes, Heinz.
Oh, okay.
Only the best.
So people, I just wow, there's really weird stuff coming across on Facebook that people are saying.
What's something weird
mustard
that
is
the grocery
gone.
store
No
has?
active dry
mustard,
yeast.
Yeah, yeast is like.
Well, the reason the yeast is gone, Lou, is because everybody I know is actually making their own bread now.
Yep.
What?
Because you can't
Yep,
find
they're
bread.
making their bread.
You can, because you can't
Yeah.
make any, you can't
Yeah,
find
'cause you
bread. You got to make it.
Can't find bread.
Today, people are lazy, so they can't
Yeah.
make their own bread. But now, it's like
We have a whole
Frozen
Slack channel
foods.
in our office for it.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to start making our own hot dogs too.
But what are we
Yeah.
back in the 90s? Remember in the 90s when everyone got a bread machine for Christmas?
oh my gosh.
I sold mine.
yeah.
Still got it.
No, I gave ours away.
Teresa Carlson says ice cream is all gone near her.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
There are no
out.
Doritos. Like again, when this all
Okay.
started, like everybody ran to the paper goods aisle. I ran to the snack aisle and hoarded Doritos. Who was I talking to the other day? Said that there's only flaming hot Doritos, which are not
On
the
the
best
nation
Doritos,
call.
obviously.
You
I'll
really
send
don't
you
have Doritos
from
there?
Canada if you send me.
I have Doritos. Nobody else has Doritos. So if anyone
Oh,
wants to trade for
'cause
toilet
I was
paper,
gonna say I'll send you Doritos.
I'll trade you a Cool Ranch Dorito for 10 rolls of toilet paper.
Oh, no.
I don't know about that. That's a high.
That's a lot,
Maybe
yeah.
like 3 bags.
Can everyone still get ice cream bars at the store?
Can you get what?
You're
The
lucky.
ice cream
You
bars
see me
still
on
at the
the-
store? We can still get
No.
them here.
I was talking to him. I'm always, I don't know. There's a lot of people
Yeast
on there.
starter for sourdough. Distilled water was tough.
Yes, distilled water was
Distilled
very
water.
tough. I finally found it at Dollar General.
Wow, Dollar General, you're a brave soul. You're going to Dollar General this
I was calling around trying to find it for my husband. So crazy.
That's also what's happening here in Canada, Lou. It's Crystal. Depending on where you live in Canada, some shelves have never been empty. Stores later in the day will run out of certain things, but they've changed the rules here in Ontario specifically, where truckers are allowed to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week right now to keep the shelves stocked. So big cities like Toronto are running out of things, and people are choosing to try and find those at those odd places like the corner store or the dollar store. But typically shelves are restocked within a 24-hour period. So we really haven't, in my opinion, from where we are in Canada, we haven't seen that sort of empty shelf issue the way that you guys have.
Wow.
the shelves are bare here. You know, the shelves are
They're all
bare
bare.
in supermarkets, in Walgreens, in Target as well. And you know, there's something else that we were starting to see happen. And I know I'm on a chat with like Lisa and Jason, and I'm not sure if I can't see his Carlos feels. So tell people the story about the local business that advertised. They advertised, I don't remember what it was. It was like a bagel place or a pizza place or something.
New York bagels.
Right, but then they showed. Explain, Jason. Good, the picture that you
I don't want to
shared.
explain. Lisa needs to explain. She's the one that found it. It was
Oh, I didn't know.
bagel place selling toilet paper. That's the gist of it. This bagel place
No,
is
there's
selling
like
toilet paper.
there's a really large like Facebook group in the area where like local businesses can be recommended or whatever, and they've recently like lifted their ban on self-promotion. So yeah, today they're like this local bagel place posted that they're still open and they're still open for business, but then they're like, oh, and we're selling wholesale, like regular grocery stuff. And there's
They
this,
had pallets of ketchup.
yes, there's this like pan through video of them walking through the front of their store, and they have like massive amounts of like ketchup and sugar and cereal. And like what looks like a Costco section of toilet paper and paper towels. And I was like, oh, like
Nothing that a bagel place would need.
At my Publix, because this store, and they were posting it like they were like doing a service to the neighborhood, but it was like you clearly like bought out every local business of their stuff.
You get Lysol wipes and a schmear.
They're part of the problem.
Wipes and bleach, like
Hey, Lou. It's
nice.
Debbie.
That turns me off to that business as opposed to, oh, that's so some people are saying, yeah, some local businesses are offering a special where you get a free roll of toilet paper with every order.
Right.
Or, that's different than take a look. We've got 80,000 rolls of toilet paper. That's why you guys can't get it.
Yeah, like it literally looked like a Costco section of toilet paper. Like
It's tricky in the business side of it because you don't want to be tone deaf, but you're trying everything you can possibly do to get some attention because this is hard. Anybody that's a small business owner right now, I can't even tell you the amount of stress that is going through my brain. I can't imagine the restaurateurs out there or the people that just have these small businesses and trying to figure out how to keep their employees and how to keep the payroll going and how to get people through the door. It's difficult.
Charlene Chastain O'Neill on Facebook says restaurants here are selling pantry items and uncooked meat. Longhorn is selling raw steaks and sub stores are selling cooked sub rolls. So yeah, they're selling. It's one thing if you want to sell off your inventory to try and at least just help people out and, recover some of the massive losses that these poor restaurants are going to continue to suffer. I mean, you think about how much food a restaurant has in store, and then all of a sudden they've got to close their doors because not every restaurant, can do takeout or delivery. I mean, think Disney Springs. Let's have a moment of silence for the Boathouse and all the income that they've lost simply by me not going as often. But think about how much inventory of perishable items that they probably had, steaks and seafoods, stuff that you can't freeze and continue. That yes, they all donated it to food banks, but now there's nothing left.
Well, this is Darlene again. When I was out shopping, there was a pizzeria. Not a lot of people know about it. I didn't even know it existed. It's called CC's down here. Well, there's one by me, and the owner had closed, but he reopened that day that we were there. And from noon to 6, he was selling large pizzas for $3.99 to get rid of his supply that he had of stuff. And then he said he was going to reopen. He was waiting for his truck to come in, and he's going to keep the restaurant open and give the proceeds to his staff because they live paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just like, we ordered 3 pizzas while we were there just to, help the guy out because we just felt so bad. And it was him and one coworker that was doing all this. He never even worked a cash register before, and he owns the place.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's a sad situation, but he wants to take care of his employees.
Right.
So do you guys find, are you cooking more at home or are you ordering out? Are you doing a lot of delivery?
Cooking more at home. We're cooking at home a lot.
Yeah. So Alex, it's Amanda. Oh, go ahead. No. Okay. We're so polite to each other. Alex and I were actually in Disney, and then they announced that it was closing and everything. And so we had to get back home. And when we got back home, there was no food. And we ended up going to a local butcher where we buy things from normally. And so we ended up getting a lot of food that way. So we cook a lot, but then we did HelloFresh because I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna get food. So I'm sitting in MCO like ordering my HelloFresh order because it was just scary, like sitting there thinking that like we're gonna get home, everything's gonna be picked over, we're not gonna have any food for whatever amount of time. And then we went to our like big grocery store and there wasn't really anything, and then so we went locally and there was a lot more. But I feel like I'm back in like I don't know, like the 50s, when my dad's talking about like we used to go to the bakery and then we would go to the butcher and then we go to the fresh market. And like that's what Alex and I have been doing. So we've been cooking a lot, but we've been ordering out to a lot of the local places too.
We've been doing the same. So we and when we first started getting it, I was like, what are we doing this for? Like we do, and I think it's HelloFresh. I don't know. These boxes come in.
One of them.
Yeah, there's some sort of boxes that show up and there's food in there and it
you
shows up
eat
on
it.
the table somehow. But I do, especially now, like I really am trying to support the local businesses as much as I can. Not just even as this is going on, but like there's things that I want to do afterwards to even try and bring awareness to them. Especially there's some businesses around here that are really doing good things, like offering free meals for students, like no questions asked. There's a local grilled cheese place by us called Toasted, which has been giving meals to students. Like I want people who come to Disney to get in a car, get an Uber, or Uber Eats them to their hotel, because I really applaud and appreciate what they
If I
do.
wasn't going to die from eating it, I would eat it, but I'll have Alex eat it. I can't eat dairy.
Good choice.
Oh, they have
He's
salad.
fine. He saves me. Oh, they have salad? I'm good.
So I was at Disney the week that everything was being announced that it was closing. We left on Saturday. They closed on Sunday. And actually stopped at the hotel, the little market in there, and bought a loaf of bread to take back with me just in case. And luckily, I mean, now things have kind of settled down a little bit. And typically when you get the grocery strike, and the other time yesterday I was able to find almost everything I looked for, but there was for a while, you could only get half of what you were looking for, and you had to wait another trip or two.
So when Disney World opens, where do you go eat first? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever your choice. Anybody? There's no wrong answer.
Oh,
everywhere.
Via Napoli, because it's the only place where I can have pizza with cheese that actually tastes normal.
It's hard.
Hey, was that little Charles Kersey in there? Is that Jamie Kersey's? Oh my God! How'd you get so big? Oh my God!
She's right here.
Holy smokes! Where would you go first, Charles?
We would go to Ohana.
Nice. That away.
That's
Stick it to the
behind
man.
That's him.
Good job, Jamie.
In the morning, anywhere with a mimosa flight. Better if it's
I expect
unlimited.
that from you, Becky.
So be specific, Becky. Since the club doesn't open until a certain time, where do you go first?
Topolino is first because I love their mimosas. They're amazing.
They do
And
a
the breakfast
pog
isn't
mimosa.
bad either.
So good.
And I need some characters to make me happy and smile and get back into that Disney mode. But it's always good with a mimosa. Everything's better with a mimosa.
Katie McNamara has been craving Kona Cafe breakfast. Katie, I'm right down the street. Like,
Kona.
hit me up and we'll go.
Me too.
Alex said Tonga toast at Kona.
Yes.
No. If you go to Kona, I've realized that the only way to do Kona right is you have to bring a couple of people. This way you get the Tonga toast and the macadamia nut pancakes and the Samoan, and you've got to get the local moco.
Oh, wait, no. You had the pumpkin pancakes when we went. I had the macadamia nut ones.
Well, they were seasonal, so I had to try.
I know you, but you kind of cheated on the macadamia nut ones.
The macadamia nut, we have an open relationship, so it's
Oh,
technically
okay,
not
that's
cheap.
good. I'm glad there's a mutual understanding. Or he said the sliders at Brown Derby.
Marla Chan, I love Marla Chan. Who doesn't? Says Topolino for breakfast, cheeseburger, spring rolls for lunch, boathouse for dinner, and Sanaa for late night. Marla Chan, you just won the internet because that's maybe the best possible answer.
Can I curse on here?
No.
Why don't?
I mean, darn, I'm really hungry now.
The family-friendly channel.
What about sushi from Kimonos? You forgot that.
I know.
Oh.
Kimonos is so far away.
Kimonos is the one
Sushi
with
and
the
California
karaoke,
girl,
right?
too.
Sarah Goff just said kimonos too.
Is kimonos the one with the karaoke?
It is.
Yes.
So
What'd you
you
say?
are not allowed to go, Terry Stinson Doherty.
Only if she dresses up like the dinosaur.
You want
She can
breakfast
come.
now?
Oh Lord, please don't encourage any of that.
Oh, I'm
I'm already prepared here.
Because you
Andre, what is that?
Ale Cup is at Yacht Club.
Rice Krispie treat.
You
I
go
buy them
right
in
for the
bulk.
right.
I buy them in bulk and bring them back to the UK with me.
Oh, those are the best ones too.
Those.
He's
so
hoarding Rice
good.
Krispie treats from Disney World.
I'm panic buying Rice Krispie treats.
I will trade you 3 rolls of toilet paper for that Rice Krispie treat.
Wow.
No, you have to get it across the Atlantic.
The price of poker just went up.
Giving them away.
So where else? Where else do you go to eat? Like, where else do you go to eat? Or what
Hoop-de-doo.
food item do you want? Who said hoop-de-doo?
That was Crystal.
Crystal, that's a good answer. That was
I'm-
like one of the last meals I had.
And that's why I literally have been craving that meal since you went that night. I haven't been there in forever, like years. We're talking years. But since you posted that video, it is literally all I can think about. I'm like, when is Disney opening? When can I get back to Hoop-de-Doo?
It's haunting her.
Listen, I would like to go back to Hoop-de-Doo as well. It was my best Hoop-de-Doo experience ever.
I've never been.
Who said that?
Steve.
I haven't been there
Oh
either.
my gosh. I can't believe that.
Lou, it's Kurt. After all of this, we need to go to Art Smith's homecoming. We need some comfort food.
And
They still have a staff.
Moonshine.
They have good drinks there too.
Art Smith's homecoming brunch is pretty
Ooh.
killer too.
I'm in.
My head keeps going to Nomad Lounge.
Nomad Lounge.
It's like when I
You
date-
know what?
I want bread
That's
service.
It's so far away, but I would actually probably make that trip because I also haven't had the new menu since we did the review. Like,
I'm with you,
Be
Lisa.
close to where Joe
I'm
Rody would
so
be.
ready.
do I need to re-review Nomad Lounge?
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
Take me,
If
take me.
only there was somebody.
We.
Take me.
Somebody.
I'll be there at the end of May.
I'll go.
I'm being there in
Scratch
November,
everything
so-
Alex and I have said. We want bread service from Samna.
Oh yes, bread
So
service.
bad.
I will give all of my toilet paper for bread service right now.
I want bread service.
Anybody
so
has
bad.
The standing offer.
If
I
they
had
reopen
it
by
2
the
weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever. I still want it.
if they reopen by the end of May, Lou, come on over. We're staying over there. We'll be at.
I'm recording this, so I'm good. I'm getting a bunch of Kelly loves Nomad Lounge. Don McCorby says Tiffin's Skipper Canteen, a Blaze Pizza, Garden Grill Breakfast, best salsa ever, says Beth. Buckets O Chicken at Hoop-de-Doo in all capital letters with lots of exclamation points. So Tim Brown is very, very serious about that too. Michelle's got Hoop-de-Doo booked. A lot of Hoop-de-Doos in there. Oh, Meg, look at Meg. Says head across. I don't know what this was to say. She's talking about flavored popcorn from Tokyo Disneyland.
Yeah, just head across the water. Let's just go and do it.
Yes. So many levels of yes.
I feel that I need to help the Japanese economy get back on its feet single-handedly. So, Becky, we might need to do like a quick, just to make sure everything is okay trip to Japan.
Do you know that these first few months, the airlines are going to have deals, the hotels over there are going to have deals. We may need to do that.
I'm not kidding.
I'm not either. Dude, I have been sitting at home for 22 days. I have not left the house for 22 days.
Can we just have a moment of silence or a drink for Chris, who's Becky's husband? Like 2 days of this.
Hey.
Like,
oh. You really have to, Terry.
Why is your Becky impression like 7 octaves higher than it needs to be?
Because I've been with Becky when she talks like that. It's a real thing.
It's usually when I'm yelling at you.
I can see it.
So Martin says Teppanyaki. Martin, I will see your Teppanyaki and I will raise you to Kumite.
Yes.
Like
okay.
Only in the
I'll
water
take
room.
anything at the moment.
That's
only in the water
phone.
do.
Why do I know so much about Disney and what the heck is Kumite?
Oh, it's the new one. in
Oh my
Japan.
God! Remember when we used to like Amanda?
Tell me
Remember
all
when
about it.
We haven't
we were friends with Amanda?
Hey, remember when you cheated on macadamia nut pancakes? I remember. So tell me about this. Tell me about it.
So Kumite is the new, I want to say,
DNA.
upscale dining restaurant in the Japan Pavilion. So if you're staring at the pavilion itself, it's off to the right. It's basically a very small, nondescript door. I will tell you, and I'm taking Boathouse out of the equation because I
Clearly.
it's- clearly.
You need to come to Chicago because Gibson's owns Boathouse. I'm just saying.
I will tell you this. Dare I say, dare, Takumi Te is the best restaurant in Walt Disney World.
Why are you shaking your
Alex,
fireball?
we need to go to Japan and Epcot.
Like, and if you don't, you know what? You and Alex should probably take me so I can help guide you through the menu because
we
you
friends
need
again?
like a little
Okay.
sensei.
Are we friends
Really?
again?
Are we going to go there right now? Because I think there is a makeup dinner for being
And
stood
this is
up.
where I get to meet Becky.
Lou, are we friends again
We are. If we're going
Okay,
to Takumi
okay.
Te, we're really good friends.
now? Okay, then we'll all go.
For those playing,
I'll invite Becky too.
Oh, why'd you gotta ruin it?
Because I'm just a nice person like that.
So
for
wait,
those
is
playing the drinking game, that's twice easy.
Jason and Lisa, remember when we did the omakase dinner in there? And God, how good that was. And the little smoky drink.
Yes.
And the and it's better than
Look at the
Victorian
smile on
Albert's
Lisa's
because Victorian Albert's is like a once in a 5-10 year thing. Takumi Te you can go to all the time. The service is fantastic.
I
The
don't know about all the
atmosphere,
time.
the food is devastatingly delicious.
I actually prefer it to B&A.
It's good stuff.
Well, if we're traveling, because I mean, you mentioned Disney World. It's tasty, Luke. You mentioned Disney World, and we somehow ended up in China and Japan, with all those places over there. So if we're traveling, I want on the Fantasy, and I want Palo Brunch. That's what I.
That's a good call right there.
Yes.
I heard Andrew pop in there. I look at Andrew coming to life when you talk about Palo Brunch.
Strawberry soup. Bring on the
strawberry
strawberry soup.
I'll send you the recipe.
I never heard of strawberry soup.
Strawberry.
So Caleb, neither did I. And then they had the strawberry soup like on the buffet at Palo Brunch. And like I dismissed it at first until everybody's like, OMG, you've got to try this. It was fantastic.
I had 7.
Alright.
They're small.
I can't remember how much I
little
had.
martini glasses.
Andrew can't remember. Andrew was drunk on strawberry soup, so he literally can't remember how many he had.
And the grape and gorgonzola pizza. Oh,
Oh. I like the spicy sausage pizza is really good too. I literally, and I found that they don't like when you do this. Just the Pecorino Romano cheese wheel. They prefer that you don't put any in your bag and take it back to your room with you. But it's fantastic. Is it the same as the 1800? Somebody says, is it the same as the 1900 Park Fair strawberry soup?
No,
No.
not at all.
Arundel Prince says California Grill brunch for the win. Aaron, can you believe I've never done California Grill brunch because nobody will go with me?
I'll go with you.
I'll go.
I'll go with you.
I have a reservation for the
I'll go.
California Grill in June that I'm hoping happens.
I mean,
It's a very crazy brunch for what it is, but it's excellent.
I agree with Lisa.
I would like
Kevin
Tonga
says,
toast.
Nicholas wants a Cobb salad and martini flight from the Brown Derby. I'm down with that.
Oh,
I haven't had a
that's so
Cobb
good.
salad. Brown Derby Lounge is so
Brown
good
Derby is awesome.
That was my last meal, guys. That's not okay. I
They
had the
have
Cobb salad. Alex had the sliders, and because I was crying in the middle of Epcot, we walked over to Hollywood Studios, and I just had a Sauvignon Blanc and a Cobb salad.
There's no crying in Cobb salad.
I got yelled at by a lot of clients for a travel agency. Okay.
Dale Bannister says the Liberty Tree ooey gooey desserts. Chico says Kevin Shea. Oh, Chico's not a bad call either.
So I'm surprised nobody has said Boma.
Boma for breakfast or Boma for dinner?
Yes.
Boma and for Boma.
Yeah. I like Boma dinner.
Boma.
No, but Boma's so close to Sanaa. Like I would feel like I would need to go to Sanaa after just for the
I
bus
haven't
service.
done Sanaa yet.
If only somebody would go with you to Sanaa.
I know.
It was the dumbest thing you could have ever said.
Never ever.
No
So we have to
way.
make plans.
We have to make plans.
Wait, who said that they've never done Sanaa? Someone say
Darlene.
I've never done it.
Oh my God. I thought it was Lisa and I was about to hit the floor.
No.
Aaron says, I'm simple. I'm just dying for
No.
a Dole Whip, a Mickey pretzel, and then spaghetti and meatballs at Tony's.
Dole Whip, I'm in.
Dole Whip.
Oh, so you had to
Right?
say
All of a
that.
sudden, the
and-
things we do again, it's the things we took for granted because they were just there all the time. Now, like we're just crave, like we would kill for them.
Just want food.
Let's see if this one can get your taste buds watering. How about the beef Wellington we had at Artist Palette on the Wonder?
That's not a bad call either. Now you got me thinking about. Now you got me thinking about cruise food.
Ooh, yes. That's very good.
Becky,
Well,
I'll beat you to the punch. Don't forget that the Marvel Day at Sea cruise in January is gonna be the perfect way to recover
I was
from.
going to say, we've got that to look forward to at least.
Thank God we have a cruise on the books that's far enough away that time is going to go by fast. It'll be here before you know it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, in Wyoming.
It's gonna taste better, right? Like.
Yes.
Disney's going to taste better.
Right.
Like your local restaurants are going to taste better because we've missed them so much. The absence makes the heart and palate grow fonder. Is definitely a real thing. It's part of the reason why I asked you where you would go first. Like, what's that thing that you just close your eyes and you're craving, and you can't wait to have again? I'm gonna have to assume.
I'm surprised no one said beignets.
Beignets.
If you're gonna get beignets, then we got to go back to New Orleans. Then
New Orleans.
Well, the
Please
Wonder
come
has
on back.
beignets.
Nah, Disneyland too.
Does
Anywhere
spaghetti
they serve
popcorn in
lobster.
Tokyo count?
Spaghetti popcorn. Wow.
it does.
Popcorn?
All the popcorn in Tokyo counts.
Oh.
And
Volcano?
after doing, and Becky, I know you don't listen to the show, but I just did a whole episode about the SCA.
I know.
Now thinking that in my like just to go back and go like to have like a meal at Magellan's.
Oh, you'll let me go on Magellan's this time.
Oh.
Do I need to explain the story?
There's some anger pent up in there.
Becky's like, I need a drink so bad. We need to stop what we're doing and go to Magellan's.
No, I wanted not the drink. I wanted the SCA glass. I didn't care about the drink. It was
You wanted this. Wait.
what?
Oh, when Lou got one?
Yes. Because somebody, helps get him these things when he won't go himself.
Is there a glow cube involved? Is this an official drink or what?
Oh, it was an official drink.
I love those
You had to
cute-
order a specific thing on the menu to get this glass.
Really?
Only you cannot find
you
SCA stuff anywhere. There was no shirts. There
on
was
eBay.
That was.
Not
I want it
Amazon.
now.
And then we had to pack it to get it back without breaking it.
There was a
in
lot
our-
of stuff we had to pack to get back without breaking it. So
Do you just bring an extra suitcase for everything that you're going to bring back?
Yeah, souvenirs and
Well,
yeah.
on that specific one, Lou, if you remember, we spent about 2 hours finding me a suitcase because we had to buy one.
Yes.
No!
Yes, I do remember the 2-hour quest to find you a suitcase big enough for all the
But
stuff that
come
you had to
on,
bring back.
that's when we also found the sushi place that you loved.
Oh God.
It was
just
2 floors down, remember?
But did you not see like the legit there was just this happy
Yeah.
satisfied look, like I just enjoyed that meal so much. Just that it was an Edo style sushi where you order it sort of like by the piece. Nobody spoke English. Like they had this little like cheat sheet guide so you can understand the menu, and I was just sort of pointing to things. It was fantastic. It wasn't in Tokyo Disneyland or Disney Sea. It was outside the park. It was fantastic.
I was in their downtown Disney-ish place.
That
Yeah,
sounds so good.
I've never seen you that happy, and I think that would be your death row meal.
Until we went back to Japan, and then you saw me.
Yeah.
Then I did that over and over again.
Becky, is Shanghai formally open again?
No. What they started doing was opening like their downtown Disney or Disney Springs a little bit. So some places are open, but the park is not. At this time, every single Disney park is closed for the first time in ever.
Excuse me 1 second. I have an important update. Mark Jones, really, how did anybody forget a bowl from Satuli Canteen?
Oh, so good.
Right?
That's my
So
favorite.
good. I had to convince Alex for the past 2 trips to actually eat there. He's crazy. And then he ate there and he's like, oh yeah, it's actually good. I'm like, I steer you wrong on food?
I'm seeing Ronto wraps from Ronto Roasters.
Well, I would say that food looks a little weird. When he first got the food from Century Canteen, I was like, no, you can't.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. And it's funny because he did the same thing with me with the Ronto wrap. I was like, I'm not eating that. And then I got the Ronto wrap and I'm like, okay.
He left early and he literally went to the park just to eat a Ronto wrap. Like literally the only reason he went.
That's awesome.
That's a good enough reason. Why else would you go? Like,
I just want to add something and take off the food for a second just to say thank you to whoever it was, because I don't remember right now, who posted about Disney Sorcerer's Arena. I can't.
That game is
put it,
really fun.
I can't put it down. So this has been something that's been kind of mentally helping me through the chaos that I've been living for the past 22 days. So thank you for whoever did that.
is it a card game or like a role-playing game?
No,
What is
it's like old school
like
Final
multiplayer.
Fantasy. So it's
Yeah.
if you've ever played Final Fantasy back in the day when it was, stop and you select the attacks.
What about
It's-
Kingdom Hearts?
It's a lot of fun. Sadly, I'm addicted. And yeah, I've spent money on it.
What about Disney
Okay,
emoji?
so-
Disney emoji's addicted.
I play Emoji. I play Tsum Tsum. And then is it Xbox or PlayStation?
I think Xbox.
I play the Disneyland game and I'm like a
Oh, yeah.
5-year-old on it.
Yeah, when you play that game, it's
I
really
love
fun.
that game.
I haven't
Have you
played
found
Xbox
that you're
in a
like
while.
that you're treating yourself to doing stuff like that, like that you haven't done in a long time, like firing up the PlayStation or doing like video games again, or just other stuff that you haven't done in a long time? But I mean, I've grabbed the PlayStation controller for the first time in ages because I needed some of that just mindless late night, somewhat early morning distraction from everything else.
I've just been deep
myself to allowing my kids to play unlimited amounts of video games. It's been my treat.
Yeah, like my brother, he plays Fortnite all day.
I played Disney Infinity for the first time in like 4 years the other day.
I missed that game
I've
so
never
much.
played that. I
Oh,
wanna
that
play
was such a good game.
Oh, it was such a good game.
I wanna play
You know what?
Kingdom Hearts
It
too.
wasn't.
I
It
never
wasn't.
played that.
Disney Infinite. They missed the mark because the toy box mode was fun, but the regular like story mode was
Like, just-
awful.
yeah, story.
And
Yeah.
that's why it failed. They should have let another developer take that on because the characters are great. And I have like a couple of the figures still. They were super cool and they blew it. Like it unfortunately, I think was a huge fail. And we were all in, man. Like we had the figures and the different versions, and it never lived up to.
Well, for those who want to try the Disney game we're playing, we do have a WDW Radio Clubhouse group on the games.
I want to be
I didn't know
in there.
I have the game, but I haven't
Be
played
where
it
the
in a
people
while.
are.
Oh, I need to
Look
be
up-
where the people are.
Just look up the club WDW Radio Clubhouse, and we still have
Okay.
spaces.
What's the name of this stupid
Okay.
game? Damn it!
What game is this?
Hey, you said I couldn't
Who
curse.
cares?
Never
I
cursed when I was
know.
gonna
I
use.
said, dang it! What's it? Sorcerer's
You
Arena.
did not.
Disney Sorcerer's Arena.
Does anyone play Disney Magic Kingdoms?
I
don't play
used
Magic.
to play it a
Used
long
to.
time ago, but
Yeah, a
is
long
it hard
time
to play
ago.
on a? Is it hard to play on a phone? Because my brother-in-law always says it's easier to play on a
No.
tablet.
Not really.
No, it's
No,
easy on the
it's
phone
not.
too.
Is
It's
it?
fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin
I
Shea's
kind of
doing
want to
old
play it
school
again.
Disney's Magical Racing Tour. Look at you.
Oh, that's a great game.
Forever
Has
ago.
anyone bought the Lion King, Aladdin?
I wanna
It's
buy
the
that so
old
much.
school that has
That's
brought
like-
to like Xbox. I got it for Alex for Christmas, and we started playing it, and I'm like, I forgot how hard this
Oh my
game
God.
was.
I think
But it is really fun.
They used to have a DuckTales video game, DuckTales Remastered, but I don't know if that's still available.
Did you have a DuckTales video game? No. Mm-mm.
That's
See,
either
I
PS1 or
actually
PS2.
have someone to my right to talk to, Lou.
I do too.
I'm just
I mean,
kidding.
it's-
I had to give you a hard time.
I sort of have somebody there.
Hey, show the
A little
whiteboard.
bit.
Flip that all the way
You wanna see
around.
whiteboard? You wanna-
I
you
got
wanna see
all
the
your
whiteboard?
secrets now.
whiteboard.
Keep going.
Oh, almost got to see behind the camera a little bit.
So actually,
close.
Becky, you know what?
So close.
It's not the whiteboard. There's a couple of sticky notes here, and I even made sure I covered it just so there was no what's behind these two white things is the next big idea.
Let me
Becky
get
starts
through-
having a heart
There's
attack
something-
right now.
we get through the ideas we
I
already
want to make sure. Wait,
have.
hold on. Let me just make sure I cover it up enough so you can't see through it. But it's this. It's this. And now I'm gonna
Good job.
hide it because I know you're gonna be like, "Hey, Deanna, sneak into Lou's office and tell me what's on that sheet of paper."
Clearly, yes. You can just tell us right now. We can group mind this together. Come on. That's
okay.
not going to happen. I know.
Not tonight.
Hey Lou, talking about food, don't you miss the bacon mac and cheese in the bread cone?
Oh, that
from
sounds amazing. I
Cone
love
Motel?
Oh yeah. Those
Cozy cone. Like how
And we were supposed to be in Disneyland.
no. Like in like a week and a half.
Yep.
Stop it.
God, not cool.
Disneyland misses you, Lou.
I missed
I
Disneyland.
walked up to the it says Stark Industries on all the walls that they're
Yeah,
building
the
Avengers
walls.
campus on, and I walked up and I like hugged it, and I'm like, I'll be there soon, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be there. That's a pipe dream.
So where would you go
Everyone's
first in
quiet now.
Disneyland? Where'd you go first in Disneyland? Anybody?
I know.
Oh, I want a corn dog.
No,
No.
so I go to
Oh,
Flo's V8
yes.
Cafe for breakfast.
I've never been to Disneyland. I really want to go to
you gotta-
Disneyland.
I have
go on.
reservations for tea. It was supposed to be for Dapper Day, so now I'm trying to get it on the new Dapper Day.
Go eat in Pirates of the
When did they
Caribbean.
reschedule that for, Ashley?
That's good.
So Kevin, you want to? So
They
where would you go? Blue
rescheduled it for
Bayou.
June.
Yeah, Blue Bayou.
If I was
Short
gonna go to
ribs and dinner
Disneyland,
are
I would go
spectacular.
to.
Amber's on Team Cozy Cone. Yeah, I'm totally down. Oh my God, I would eat my face off and my weight in Cozy Cones right now.
Every time I hear you in the podcast, you love the cozy cone.
So Lou and
Napa
Becky,
Rose.
can you get
Kevin,
us
I've
into
never been. Can you
surgery?
believe Becky's never taken me to Napa Rose?
Wait.
Ever. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We went one day for a meeting and I was allowed to order a water.
But did she
You're
take you to the
expensive.
club?
That is so
What about
not
Club 33?
true.
Oh, we muted her
Just
again.
muted her.
I did not. I'm hands-free. I did nothing.
Anyway,
Lou, that's because you were the designated driver.
Wow.
you were totally like, no, I don't want to go anywhere fancy.
I am.
would
I'm
rather
a
just-"
simple man. I'm a simpleton and a simple man. And I'll take Cozy Cone over Napa Rose and the club.
Ready to watch
Any day of the week.
American Idol?
And you have every single time that we wanted to go to Napa Rose. But I'm sure that we will remedy that situation. We'll hopefully be there in August, so we'll try that again.
Hey, is
I know.
anyone going to Destination D?
I haven't even thought like that far.
I
out.
haven't. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
I almost forgot about Wyoming too. I forgot that. I mean,
Yeah,
We're hoping
don't be
that-
forgetting about Wyoming. I'm very, very optimistic that we're going to be fine there because hardly anybody lives there.
What's Wyoming?
Have you
What's
guys
going on in
have
Wyoming?
have you guys ever been to Wyoming before?
Yes.
Or Yellow? Okay.
I never been
Yep.
to
Because like
Wyoming.
I grew up going out there, and every time I'm really sad because I can't do it because of stuff with work. And every time I see the itinerary, I'm like, you guys are gonna have so much fun.
I did this one
That's in my
several
area.
years ago, and that's why I wanted to repeat it because it's perfect for families.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, whitewater rafting. It's going to be
Yes.
Lou's going to ride a horse.
I hear the sushi
Yeah.
out there is
Has
fantastic.
Lou ever been on a horse?
I
Yes,
don't know.
Lou has been on a horse.
Have
You have?
I have.
Have you really?
I have.
The one
Anytime.
outside of Walmart doesn't count.
Oh,
No, you cannot put a quarter in it in order to ride the horse.
I have been on horses before, including at Walt Disney World.
What's going on?
Please don't die.
Darlene's like,
Please,
Darlene,
Darlene.
are you okay?
Are you okay?
I am not responsible
you
for.
sure?
Oh my gosh.
Your hands. It'll help with the cough.
Ah.
So wait, so I went horseback riding in Walt Disney World, which I don't recommend doing in the middle of August because
That sounds
it's not a good
terrible.
idea. What's something in Disney that you've never done that you're like, you know what, God, like it's closed. I never had a chance to do this. What's one thing you've never done that you are going to be like, you know what, life is too short. I have to go and do X.
So we're not counting things that are backstage that we're not supposed to do, right?
So you cannot break laws.
Once again, Terry, please check the restraining order and see things that are legal. Things that are illegal.
So Lou,
Sarah's
it's Crystal. The thing I would do is and I forget what it's called, but I saw you do it once a very long time ago, where you can go and have lunch, like sort of just outside of where the giraffes are in the safari on Animal Kingdom. I have never done that, but if I could eat there, if they build like a little shack there, I will cut off my right arm to sleep there some night. That's where I would go.
Wild
So
African
there's a
Trek is a
tour
lot
called
of fun.
Savor
Again,
the
not in the middle of summer, but it's really, really
One of my
good.
favorite things to do.
Crystal, there's a tour called Savor the Savannah where they take you out on a private safari and then they take you to that area like between the lions and elephants and you do like tapas and unlimited drinks and it's amazing.
Oh, see,
If
I'm all
only there
over
was
these
somebody
things.
who would do that with me, I would go and do
Done.
that.
I would do
I want
that.
to mute you right
Okay,
now.
Lou,
Yeah.
you and me, let's do it.
I was
I'll do
gonna
it,
say
I'll do it.
whatever it was that Whitney took Lisa to. So, yeah.
That was Savor the Savannah.
Hey, why don't we do that as a group? That would be great.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
Can it be
I wish I knew.
anything?
It could be
even
girls'
if
night
it-
out.
Can it be anything, even if it's not something bookable?
So I'm going to say yes, just because I want to hear what you're throwing down at this point.
So we want to visit all the Club 33 lounges and Cinderella Suite. I want to go in Cinderella,
Cinderella
Suite so
Suite,
bad.
that's right.
That's where I want to go. I want a bath in
Exactly.
that bathtub.
How about Tour of the Magic Kingdom?
My own VIP private tour with no one else in there. Yeah.
Anybody else? Something
I
you've
want to
never
do
done at Disney?
the Keys to the Kingdom tour.
Yes, Keys of the Kingdom. That's what it's called.
That
I
is
was
so
like-
good.
That's
That's such a
That
good
is
tour.
a great tour. That was my second to
great.
last day at Disney, and it was very sad now.
Hey, you got the audio guides from Lou, so you could just listen
I've
to that.
walked
and-
around Magic Kingdom and have done his audio tours while walking around by myself. 'Cause I'm that kind of person.
I'm gonna probably do that when I'm down there in November. So
You could have just called me, Amanda. I would have actually taken you on a tour of Magic
Yeah,
Kingdom.
exactly.
I was
Free.
technically there
It's a free
for
tour.
work, and I didn't realize it was going to have a blizzard in Chicago, so I got an extra day. So I should have probably just called you.
I have pointed things out to cast members while listening to Lou's audio guides, and they had no idea that it was there.
Well, because half of the stuff in the audio guides isn't true. So
It's,
I was just making it up as I went along. Terry Cincinnati, you are raising your hand like
So politely. I would like to do a quest anywhere other than Hollywood Studios.
so. I will tell you
Oh my gosh,
that
I agree.
I do have a quest planned that is not in Hollywood Studios. It's specifically going to be in the Muppet Courtyard. It's just that's only going to be there.
This is where
There
Becky
and
is.
Mickey's
All
Toontown
good.
Fair in
No
Disneyland.
problem.
Yes.
Be all good.
I miss Mickey's Toontown Fair. It's so
You
But,
had to
you know.
mention Toontown Fair, like as if we're not suffering enough.
hey, at least we got Storybook Circus, you know. But
Just so you know, Mickey's Toontown Fair audio tours are still available, and they are just $10. Listen, we're all suffering during. We're all taking an economic hit during this time. I mean, it's true. Like I've had multiple speaking things get canceled because obviously conferences just aren't happening. So
Who misses
tours are
Celebrate
$10.
Dream Come
They make a
Parade?
great gift. Just so you know.
Lou, by the way, I teach driver's education.
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
get 6 feet away from people. Well, I haven't worked in over 2 weeks.
I'm sorry, man.
And it's probably
And
looking
there's
like
nothing you can do
April 30th.
virtually, right? There's no sort of virtual training that you can do.
No, they won't let us do behind the wheel virtually anymore. I don't know why not.
Can't you just load up like Mickey's Magical Racing Tour and just watch them do that?
Yeah.
And Super Mario Kart.
Teach them how to drift.
Oh no. Where do you teach driver's ed?
I actually work for Top Driver.
Oh, like in what town area?
Yes. I'm working all over. I'll do Willowbrook.
I'm assuming snow because you said you can't teach them how to drift.
No, we don't teach them how to drift, but yes, we do drive in the snow. I work all over.
Okay, that's why.
Message me. Yeah, I'm all over.
You can drift without snow.
Can you really? I've never done that.
You just gotta pull the emergency brake and
You gotta go see
wear your tires out.
Okay, don't teach me how to do things.
All right, so look, so we're all home and we're all stir crazy. What have you been binge watching? What is the thing that
Survivor.
either the new show or a repeat of an old show that you're binge watching?
Survivor.
Like old Survivors?
We started with the new ones and have been working our way back season by season.
I was on board like the first 2 or 3 seasons, and what are they on, like season 85 now?
It's ridiculous. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I watched the whole of Stranger Things again.
Yes, Amber, Tiger King for sure.
All right, so what's
What
Tiger
is with
King?
this?
Like, I don't. I just see
Greatest
that.
show ever.
Everywhere.
Hate to watch that. I'm
What is it?
really afraid to watch that.
It's
Tiger
the craziest people ever playing with tigers and smoking meth.
Oh,
Like a
well,
train wreck. You can't stop watching.
it's on Disney Plus, I assume.
Yes.
Look under educational.
It's Breaking Bad for Disney fans.
I've never seen Breaking Bad either.
Never seen.
Never
haven't
did,
either.
No.
Have you
No
watched
Breaking
Dirty Money on Netflix?
Nope.
No.
How about Better Call?
Who?
I
Dirty
just
Money.
watched Witcher.
How's Witcher?
It was very good. Very good. And they are coming up with another season.
So Julie's saying Ozark, Clone Wars. Dahlia
Ozark.
Nolan is started watching Lost. Dahlia, like, love you.
I have to find Lost.
Oh, it's on Hulu. Literally go by Hulu just for Lost. It's that good.
I have Hulu. So
Stop what you're doing. Get off the call. I'm going to kick you off the call. Go start watching Lost.
It's so good.
I will.
I'm being
I have
called Lock
another
and Key.
6 weeks. Oh, Lock and Key was good.
I watched like the first episode like with my kids, and like it was really dark and scary. So we turned it off, and I'll have to.
That's Stranger Things for me. Couldn't even get through the first one.
I'm watching Goof Troop.
Star Wars Resistance.
Goof Troop.
Amanda Bonner says Lost is. Love Amanda Bonner. Like Lost is amazing. Best show ever on television. I started watching some, and now I'm in. It's called Dark. It's on Netflix. It's in German, like it's subtitled, but it's a German sort of adult-ish Stranger Things. And like I'm so far in, like I can't not watch the last 3 episodes. I'm like, just end this darn thing already. Like it should have ended a season and a half ago. But a lot of people saying Picard. I don't have CBS All Access, so I don't have access to Picard.
I like
The
Picard.
Imagineering story is really good.
Oh,
Imagineering story is great.
We're going through all the
It's
Marvel movies, and we got to Thor 2, and I just suffered through it today. So we're in the middle of Winter Soldier, and I had to pause it for this.
I on this week's show, spoiler alert, I do talk about a Marvel movie and I tried watching it again 2 days. I just can't. I cannot wrap my little nerdy heart and mind around, and I just don't dig it.
Hey, can I pick your little nerdy heart real quick? So when in Winter Soldier, when they're talking about like Secretary of State, like the Iowa valedictorian, Doctor Strange, like he's going through all these people before he throws them off the building. Okay, you know what part I'm talking about.
Right. So when the helicarrier is when it's identifying all the potential targets.
Yes, thank you. So before he throws, when he's talking about the Iowa valedictorian, is he talking about Hawkeye or Hawkeye's daughter? Because isn't there farm in Iowa?
So, and I know exactly what you're talking about. It's never been confirmed. It's not Hawkeye because he's not the smartest guy in the world. Because what superhero relies on bows and arrows? Because when he's done shooting arrows, he's got nothing.
He's gone.
He can see. That's why he's so much better as Ronin than he was as Hawkeye. But
yes,
I digress. Yeah, so there's been a lot of speculation that it's some obscure Marvel character. I don't even know that it's Hawkeye's daughter. I'm not sure.
Because I've also heard that it's somebody who is like who knew Bucky and Captain America and everything. It all happened in the 50s. So I didn't know if you had any insights or ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
What's the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie? Go.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Infinity War?
Endgame, I cried. That was like.
I'm going with Endgame.
I'd say Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier's way up there.
I love Winter
Spider-Man.
Soldier.
Spider-Man, Far From Home.
I love Far From Home.
If there was only somebody that liked Spider-Man in this room.
Oh yeah.
I cried so bad in Endgame that I brought Kleenex with, and I was crying. And then the girl next to me, she was already like really angry at her boyfriend or whatever because they were late and they got like crappy seats. And so, but she started crying her eyes out, and so I handed her tissues, and she's like, "It was worth me sitting here." But I just started crying so bad. I can't do it. I'm not ready to watch it.
I'm getting in Facebook. We're getting the original Avengers, Endgame, a lot of Endgame, a lot of first Avengers movie, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man because it's the first one. Nobody's saying Incredible Hulk, which is the right answer.
That's a great answer. Yeah.
No love for Black Panther.
Forever.
So who said Black Panther?
Gabby.
So Gabby
did.
I know I'm in the minority. Black Panther's not my favorite Marvel movie.
Really?
Black Panther has a great soundtrack if you are into the like rap and hip hop music. It's amazing.
I just watched Captain Marvel too for the second time, and I liked
Black Panther was one of the first films that really had had that woman power kind of feeling.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, I'm all about this.
Sherry is like awesome.
I have feelings about Captain Marvel, so that's all I'll say.
Okay.
Could that be a hint to that Marvel movie? You
I'm just gonna say, you know.
Becky's probably thinking, what about Thor?
There's
don't need to justify my love for
the
Thor.
feelings I have of Captain Marvel might not be what you expect. So stay tuned to the end of the segment on this week's show.
I'm so interested.
There's a very interesting dialogue I think that goes on. By the way, before I forget, if anybody downloaded the show like in the first half hour when it went live, you're probably gonna need to download it again because I left some overlapping audio near the end. So you might have to just download it again. So I apologize. So a couple of people have asked me and are messaging me. I did completely forget, and I have no image or graphic up. They said, "Oh, you said there was gonna be like a little announcement tonight." There is, because I have been somewhat productive, and I've spent.
I'm so scared.
You should be, because it's not on the board, Becky, and it had. You shouldn't be scared at all.
Okay.
But I have been productive, and finally, look, like I've even cleaned up my room a little bit. Like I've been getting things done, not just here, but what's on the opposite side of that door, as well as the cavernous garage that has been filled with stuff. And the Purge Part 3 is happening right now. eBay, once again,
for like 2 months.
Yeah, but now it's really literally it's probably on. Wait, I can actually check and see. They should be live. Let me see.
Wait, I didn't get my choice of stuff first.
Wait, you did not. You have your choice. You're more than welcome to bid. So yeah, so this week there's 10 items. It's primarily it's nerdy. It's all Star Wars and a little Star Trek with a little bit of Meet the Robinsons thrown in there too. But 10 items per week. Everything must go. Like there's a lot. I have a 2-car garage. About 3, let me see. A quarter of the garage right now is just boxes for eBay. So
wow,
it's all I need to get rid of this stuff because it's doing me no good sitting in the garage. Like I'd rather it go to good homes and be put out on display. This is a very small office. Clearly I have no more room for anything else.
I'm so glad I listened to you.
You purged first?
I purged first.
Smart girl. Smart girl. So, yeah. So if there's nothing that suits your liking this week, there's more Disney stuff. There's a lot of Disney stuff that's coming, like theme park stuff, artwork, books, collectibles, pins, like you name it, from top to bottom. So,
and Lou,
You
what's
just
your
let me know
top?
when that bat station's for sale, Lou.
oh, this one up here. Where is it? That
Yes.
that one.
Yeah.
That shelf is probably I don't think there's anything. Let me see. I'm probably never going to part with the bat stanchion, or my samurai Mickey.
Oh, I've got that pistol.
You have so
the 1977. Yeah, the Han
that's
Solo
my
pistol.
that's my original, like mine from when I was a kid.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah,
Yep.
All the characters.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So the stuff that's in here will probably, there's a couple of items here that will go, probably not my SEA glass because
No,
I had to go with Becky to Magellan's to go get it. So, it's just wdwradio.com/eBay will take you right there. And everything starts at $1. No reserve, no nothing. You guys fight it out. Have
you
at
only
it.
have 10 things up there.
Right. Well, 10 things at a time.
And half
And
of
if
them
you
are
have all
lightsabers.
boxes in your garage, then I can see why you needed a third.
Yeah. Becky, you have no idea. I'll take a picture of my garage right now, and already boxes have been taken out for eBay listings. Yeah, it's not.
You have
it's
a
pretty
problem,
because-
Angelo. You have a problem.
Well, that's why they go. And I will tell you, the Star Wars lightsabers are super cool. Like
There's
I
6 of
really
them.
struggled with putting them on and off the list, but better they go to a good home where somebody will appreciate them more.
Hey,
I
Lou,
I literally never opened any of them. Nothing was ever opened.
Hey Lou, what kind of Star Trek do you like to watch?
So I was a Next Generation guy. I still like the original series. I watched all the other ones for the most part. Never really loved them as much, and I have not had a chance to watch Picard as yet. But yeah, I was a Next Generation guy. Like I literally remember watching the first episode the night that it premiered.
Wow.
So
Lou, is there one thing you like to collect? Is it pins or ornaments or something like that?
it is neither pins nor ornaments, although I have, like I say neither, but I have way too many of both. Clearly, my love is for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like I've even finally gotten my Funko Pops in order.
Why am I staring at Lisa?
And why is it just
that's your own
Where did
problem.
she go?
That's you and Lisa. You and Lisa need to work that out.
I
the two
love
of
you, Lisa. We stood in the middle of Main Street at Disneyland crying. Well, no, I stood in the middle of Main Street crying, and she hugged me. But I don't know if I need to stare at you right now. Sorry, go ahead.
What was the question?
What do you collect?
You collect.
Oh, what do I
Yeah, what you
collect?
collect.
So, Spider-Man stuff. I have a lot of, and I really am trying to get rid of a lot of. For a long time, I collected pre-opening stuff for Walt Disney World. So if it was printed on something, I wanted to get my hands on it. So I have like all the old Walt Disney World newspapers from even like pre-opening. All those are going to. I have a lot of paper, a lot of like tickets. Theme park ephemera was really the stuff that I was hoarding for a long time. But again, there's only so much room. Like I just found the other day, I opened up a box and there was 2 binders of like old maps and booklets and cast member guides and letters and stuff like that that were in these like plastic sheets that I collected for years and I just never did anything with. A lot of it I collected for research, for like writing the books and stuff and the audio tours, but there's just nothing. I mean, there's nothing I could do with it now. So
okay, Lou,
that they go to a good home.
Kurt again. Do you have one of these?
Is he the Dream Squad Mickey?
No, that would be a cast member Mickey. So if you worked at the Disney store, they gave us these.
I think the only Mickey I have that's plush.
Yeah, Disney Mini Beanbag plush.
The one that I have is Japanese Mickey and Minnie.
I really want those. If you ever get rid of those, I get first dibs. FYI.
I will tell you about the eBay auction first. So let the bidding wars begin.
What's your most prized Disney possession? Like not Star Wars, not Marvel, Disney.
My most prized Disney possession.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you the BS lawyer answer, right? Because there's some
Oh,
that are emotional. Well, no, because there's some that are. So I have an original e-ticket from a book.
No, that's what I want.
a
I want
book.
like the emotional connection one.
No, you can't have that. It's mine.
Why?
So
Well, I
that's
won't want. I won't take it from you.
so that has a emotional and sentimental value. The bat stanchion obviously is up there. I will tell you one of my holy grails of collectibles.
Holy grail.
Mine is my Castle Suite card.
And I've only seen
I'm
one
so
other
jealous
one
of
before.
you.
In Liberty Square, when the park first opened, the ye old Christmas shop was broken up into 3 different stores. If you go in there now, you can still see like where they were divided up. One of them was an antique store. One of them was Madame Lafitte's perfumery, where you could make your own like concoction of a scent, and they would write the formula down in a book. So if you went back years later, you could get it for your wife or your mom or whatever. And I was never able to find one of the perfume bottles. And then finally somebody sent me one of the perfume bottles.
That is so cool.
That is cool.
That is very cool.
Wow.
And I've only seen one other one. And this was a magic trick from the old House of Magic shop. Like it's this little King Tut that like floats in his little coffin thing.
That's cool. That's cool.
So Lou,
And
for those of us,
wait, Paul's not in here, is he? So it's a Spider-Man thing, but it has meaning. I have a signed Spider-Man 700 by Stan Lee that a friend actually went and got signed for me. And I'm not normally a signature guy, but it's Stan Lee. So
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Oh, what do you have? Hold on. Who's holding something up? Say your name.
Caleb. This is me.
Yeah.
My Walt Disney.
What is-
my mom's. This is my mom's Walt Disney World, 1986. This is from the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. That's cool.
That's cool.
Holy hell. That's cool.
You roll it closer so you can see it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. This
Oh
is.
my God.
This is. Yeah, I know.
So anybody else,
It's as old
what's
as
your
me.
favorite collectible, right? God forbid there's a fire, you can only rescue one thing. What is it? Your pets are all safe, the documents are all safe, but what's the thing that you rescue?
Miniature Disney records.
So wait, say that again.
Oh yeah.
Show me again.
Yeah.
Miniature Disney records.
Kevin, those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
So I think it was a project of Crosley Radio.
Wow.
They let out these little 3-inch records, and they have a player for them too.
That's super
Oh,
cool. I've never
That's
seen that.
That's very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Benito. And they sound really good
The
too.
original albums.
But you have to have a special 3-inch record player to play them on, but you can
Yeah.
buy 'em.
I have original film strips from Disneyland. It's not Disney World, but it's all Disneyland, and I don't even know when I can't look at them other than holding them up to a light.
So Kevin, are you a record collector? You're a vinyl collector?
Yeah, I collect records, and I do a little YouTube show about vinyl as well called Recordology. But yeah, those are really cool. I love the 3-inch records, and I got a few other Disney ones too. It looks like
Do you have any like the picture discs?
Yes, I do. I've got one right here. Give me a second, and I'll find it.
So Disney did a series of picture discs. So this is America on Parade. There's a Main Street Electrical Parade one. I also have. I have like a Hall of Presidents, Haunted Mansion, and
Hey, nope.
How cool.
There's a Cinderella
back
one.
there too.
Oh, that's
wow.
so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty. That's
Oh, it's a
pretty.
double side.
Yeah, double-sided.
Oh.
Timothy Gasham says my Richard Sherman autograph from the cruise. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So he signed. I have a Mary Poppin album that he gave me, personalized. So
Oh,
I can't reach it. It's all back there. But
I lost everybody.
What is that? Who has the Fun with Music one?
This was my mom's a long time ago.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's Walt Disney's Fun with Music, 30 favorite Disney songs. It's pretty cool.
I've never seen that before.
That is cool.
Oh, it's a Disneyland album. It's an old Disneyland
Yes, it
album.
is a Disneyland album. Yes.
So this is definitely one of mine right here, but the back is the cool part.
Oh,
Okay,
look at you.
Marshall. Oh, wow.
What?
Lou, do you remember there was a salvage store, mouse salvage out of
It was
down
Mouse
by,
Surplus. There was Mouse Surplus and
yes,
Theme Park.
Mouse Surplus.
Theme Park.
Connection?
Theme Park Connection.
Theme Park Connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mouse Surplus.
Yep.
Now that's the place I got the 20,000 League porthole from.
Oh yeah.
They used to, yeah. I have a table that I made. You know, I got the porthole and made like a cocktail table out
So
of it.
can you make it out? Because that's what. So somebody gave me one when the attraction closed, right? And I have it in my garage. And I'm like, I'm gonna make a table. I'm gonna put it on the wall. It's still sitting in my garage.
Well,
Like I've never done anything with it.
I had a connection with a machinist up on Long Island. So, I brought it in and say, let's make a table for this. And he said, okay, give me a bunch of money.
That's cool.
Give me a bunch of. So Kevin, what is that?
20,000 Leagues.
So this is there's a Facebook group. It used to be a Yahoo group of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, specific to the Disney movie. And a couple Christmases ago, one of the guys on there made these custom DVD kits, and they've got like footage from there was like a Disney convention for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea about 12 years ago. It's got footage from that. It's got all the audio books, pictures from the ride, artwork, the soundtracks, a bunch of thousands of behind the scenes pictures from the movie and stuff. So it's pretty unique.
So for some of you younger people in there, that's a DVD. You used to put it into a machine and it would play pictures that moved on screen.
Do you want to know what's sad? I had to ask Alex today, I think it was. I'm like, what's a DVD writer? And he's like, you burn DVDs. I'm like, I don't know.
So you probably don't know what a
32
40. You probably don't know what a 45 or 33
I'm
album
32
is.
years old. Like, I should know this. That's the kind of embarrassment that I was like having in the middle of the store.
I'm going to give you a floppy disk for Christmas just so I can see your face when you look
So
at it.
you know what's funny is when I said I student taught, when I was student teaching, I told them, click on the floppy disk to save your paper or whatever we were working on. They had no idea what I was talking about. They thought I was crazy. They thought I was out of my mind. I'm like, the little square on the top of the page that you click in order to save everything is called a floppy disk. Like, I was born in like 1987. Like, why did I not know what a DVD writer was?
Do you know what an 8-track is?
Yeah, I do. I actually
Okay.
had one. I had donated
anyone
like
know
3 months ago.
VHS
Starting to get
tape is?
really, really
Yes,
depressing.
I had a VHS. We still actually have our VHS player and
Oh,
our
I still have
Yeah,
rewinder.
we've got some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laser disc. Yeah, those were the
Remember
days.
Oh,
Laserdisc?
yes.
Hey guys, remember when we could go outside?
Way too soon.
Sorry.
Wow.
Ashley, what are you holding up?
What am I holding up?
Yes.
So every year, there's a really cool thing we do for Oscar week out here in LA, where it's $5 tickets and you can go and like do a meet and greet with everybody who is nominated for whatever category it is. So for animated features in 2017, I got to meet Ron and John for Moana, and they
you're so
signed
lucky.
and doodled on my playbill.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
That's very cool.
Wow.
So wait, Andre, what were you just holding up there?
If we're talking about laser discs,
This is amazing.
I love it.
This is Disney Store promo disc. Do you remember when Disney Store played in store just a continuous 1 hour loop? Well, I've got about a couple of dozen of the promo master laser discs.
I think your warranty is up.
It still works.
So Kevin, I'm looking at your Those are all your. Oh God, I love your 20,000 Leagues cover.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's actually
I like your
a story.
Wizard of
It's not
Oz
music, it's a
one.
story.
Oh wow. So I
Yeah,
have
the
the
Wizard of Oz
actually
one is awesome.
the orange bird one is actually going to be in the auction lot. So that little orange bird, yeah, that one. I have the 45, and I've got the 33 and the third, but I don't have the record. I just have the booklet. You need a Bryant booklet.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I actually have that.
Awesome. Really cool.
So Lindsay, Lindsay, are you showing off something on your wall, or did you just walk away from your camera? I think she just wants to walk away from your camera.
I think she walked away.
I actually have an art piece of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that I would rip off the wall and take with me.
Wow.
So Martin, what are you're holding up a?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was lucky enough to order this online in the UK, and it came with Diane Disney signed it. Diane Disney Miller signed it. I was like, oh my
That's really
gosh,
cool.
that's amazing. So
An
yeah, I
actual-
think I'd have to rescue this one. I'm sure.
No doubt. An actual
That's
wall
awesome.
signature is like my holy grail. That is the thing that I keep looking for and wanting.
What is that?
Oh wow.
Cereal spoon.
So kids, just so you know, cereal was this thing you used to eat at breakfast time.
That is I think it's a 1928
Wow.
Kellogg cereal spoon.
Why are you touching without gloves? What's wrong with you?
And I'm
Wash
missing the
your
box.
hands.
It came in a box. This was found in a great aunt's house when we were cleaning it out. And that's the oldest thing I have.
Wow. But did you say 1928?
I think it's 1928.
That's amazing. I have
Becky has that. She was like 6 at that time. So
probably.
sorry, it was so easy. I couldn't help it.
You couldn't, could you?
I couldn't.
That's all right.
I have a Mary.
Easy. What is that? Is that the record?
I have that.
Oh, it's a small one.
Oh, wow.
That is cool.
Those.
I
Can
love
you
it.
unmute me, Lou?
Wait, who did I mute?
You muted
You mute.
Who did I mute?
Tracy Atkins.
I did. I would
Tasty.
never do that. I would never mute Casey.
Casey? Sorry, I can't read that
Go
small.
ahead.
I'm old again.
I'm trying to. Oh, there you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have a bunch of them. So there's this one for It's a Small World. But then I have this one for It's a Small World. This is the front.
Oh, I've got
Oh,
that.
wow.
And then it's got this on the back.
Yeah.
Are these records?
Yes.
What is that?
Yes.
Okay, very cool. I have a record player.
They're like
Stop
black
making fun of
spinning
me.
things.
Like I know what they are. I collect them. I have a lot of Beatles records. Okay.
That one.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cute.
That is
like
cool.
And then the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh.
Oh, I would like that.
What's
That's
the-
really cool.
Is there anything on the back of the Mickey Mouse Club one?
Yeah, it's got actual pictures from the sets.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that is
Wow.
so cool.
And then my favorite one, because it's so obscure.
Oh, Mother
Mother
Goose.
Goose.
Holloway. Wow.
I have that.
So, yeah. My son is a real vinyl freak, and every time he finds a Disney one, he brings me home one. So,
Surprised there's
Oh,
any
that's so
vinyl
cool.
in arm's reach.
Cool. It's funny 'cause
My
it's
daughter
coming
became
back.
a vinyl collector. Look, I love the fact that Kevin is obviously he's a liquor collector. Basically. Your
I know where
bottle
I'm
collection
going
is
next
very
time I'm down
impressive.
there.
Got a very 70s looking Mary Poppins.
Why is Kevin muted?
Oh wait, hold on, unmute him.
Who has this thing about muting people?
No, I meant to unmute him and I clicked it
Hi,
twice.
hi. I was just saying I have a very 70s looking Mary Poppins.
oh, cool.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Oh wait, now I gotta find my Mary Poppins. Knock everything over while I get this. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, Dawn, what is that?
This plaque.
Yes.
I got this version after 9/11.
Oh.
It's a limited edition thing, and it has a quote on it from Walt Disney. It says, "Tomorrow will be better for as long as America keeps alive the idea of freedom and a better life. And it had and so I got this, and after 9/11, I hung it right next to my door, and so every day I went out, I got to see this.
Nice.
So now when I moved down here, it hangs up on the wall next to my door. So I think we needed more now as that we did that.
Mary Poppins.
Yep.
Oh, look.
Oh, look, you'll both have it. That's funny.
Martin are next to each other. On
I know. On the screen, they're next to each other. That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
I just forged Richard Sherman's signature on mine. That's the only difference.
Nice.
Difference. Yeah. Pretty much the same thing. That's awesome.
It had to be Mary Poppins. Come on.
Of course it does. I'm gonna scroll.
So Lou, we are hopefully going on our honeymoon to Disney World in May. But
No, we got you, Caitlin.
There you go.
There it is. So first of all, do you think, give us some good news that we'll be able to, and
We need some optimism.
we need hope here. And some good recommendations. We do have reservations at the Boathouse at 8 on May 24th if you would like to join.
6
But
o'clock, May 24th.
Well,
8 o'clock.
Dinner.
Sunday.
Okay, got it.
Talk to Becky.
Well, the fact that it's later in the month
Yeah.
probably means that you're in. It's more likely that it's going to happen. But all right, I'm gonna try to be optimistic.
We know.
Yeah, it's possible that you may be going for your honeymoon to Disney World. However, if there's any way that you can move it past June 1st, you might be in a better position.
Yeah.
However, hold out your hope. Wait till like the end of April if you can, because you can still move things forward if necessary. But I think they're going to be in a much better position to make, or you will be, once we get another 3 weeks under our belt about what's going on.
And I would just, again, thinking not just optimistically, but rationally and logically, like, okay, what if it doesn't? What's the backup plan? What else can you do that will be obviously not as good, but at least something else that's,
And I want to spin it for you too, because as we were talking about at the very beginning, it's going to take some time for these guys to ramp up. So let's say that they do open around May 20th. Are you really going to have the full Disney experience that you want to have for your honeymoon? So you might want to have that plan B of, looking at maybe into June and moving it into June, just so that you've got that little bit of extra cushion.
Yeah.
Yeah, plan B would definitely be kind of moving it towards the end of summer-ish. So that's kind of.
When do you get married?
Right now, May 23rd.
Fingers crossed.
Okay.
But again, we're having to come up with a plan B for that too. But
you'll be okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
That sucks.
Really sucks.
Surgical masks are the new black. It'll just get a white one to match your dress. You'll be fine.
We could do a Zoom meeting for our honeymoon. I mean, for our wedding.
And
there we go.
The bride registry is easy as toilet paper and paper towels.
You can invite us all to the wedding. You don't have to worry about paying for us to eat.
There you go.
I'll
And that
dress
many
up.
more presents. There you go.
There you go. It's all better.
And then you don't have to go to each table and be like, "Hey, thanks for coming."
Exactly.
So true.
Save so much. We would be so much more efficient.
And you
Believe
can
me, if I
actually
could do
eat
it all
on your
over
wedding
again, I would have far less people. I probably would have eloped because the thing was great, but man, I had 300. I'm Italian, and so we have to have 325 people at our wedding because it's sort of like by law.
You still talk to
I hear you,
more
Lou.
than like
I
25
hear
of
you.
them?
You what?
You still talk to any more than like 25 of those people that were there?
25 is being generous.
Okay.
I had a friend of mine who obviously is no longer. She left the wedding because she didn't like where her seat was.
What?
No.
Wow. Where was her seat?
So here was the problem.
Oh,
Okay,
like
so
multiple talking at the same time.
we it's not just like my friends and family. Like my parents would be like, listen, we have to invite Dr. So-and-so's butcher's brother because it's disrespectful. But when we booked our wedding, we didn't realize, and forgive me, I'm going to get it. It was either Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah or something. My wedding anniversary is 9/11, but like before 9/11 was 9/11. So it was 9/11/99. And it was a Jewish holiday. And we're like, well, this is great. We'll invite them all. And anybody that's Jewish isn't going to come. That cuts out like half the people on the list.
Wow.
Everybody came.
Oh.
So we got married. We got our wedding, our party was in this old mansion. So there was a big room and it had like this side room with a bar and had this beautiful sort of, almost like a patio lanai, but it was sort of like in an L, right? So depending on where you were sitting, you didn't necessarily have a view of like the dais or the band or the thing. And I invited a bunch of friends from law school and she was one of them. And, you know, I didn't realize that you invite 350 people and 327 are going to come. So we had to sort of make do with whatever room they had. And she was so pissed, she walked out and she took her present with her.
Oh, you don't do that.
I'm like, at least leave the present. I paid for your meal, so yeah.
Still talk to her?
I never spoke to her again. She never even
How's
was
her-
like, "Hey
how's her
man,
law
I was really
career
like
going?"
mad," like nothing. So.
No.
That's why
Man.
you give cash. You
Yes.
walk in, you don't seal the envelope, you go in and say, "Oh, this is a good place." This is not so good. Out comes it's a cash bar. Out comes the money.
Funny.
The meal's not so good, more money comes out.
Caitlin,
Yeah,
this is what you have to look forward to on your wedding, just so you know.
Man.
Oh, I
Yeah, so
can't
you-
wait. Maybe
You can't do a
everybody-
cash. Oh, sorry.
If we no, you're good. Maybe if we still have it on May 23rd, people will be too scared to get out around a lot of people.
They'll
And
send us,
so
they'll send us Disney gift
They'll
cards,
send us the
email
gift.
them. We're all good.
Oh my gosh. We got married on May 16th, 5 years ago. And so we actually were leaving for our honeymoon the next day, which is a Disney cruise and then Disney World. And so we had to open up all of our envelopes the night of our wedding because we're like, oh my gosh, so many people gave us Disney gift cards. And so I'm sitting there trying to like get my hair out, like trying to get like all the makeup off of me and everything. We were up till 4:30 in the morning. I was going to go crazy.
Oh my god.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, leave a day in between to count the money is what she's saying. Like leave at least, you know, a Sunday
At
afternoon.
least like get the gift cards that contribute to your honeymoon.
The only time I broke the rule of the cash gift, my wife talked me into getting this beautiful candy dish for this couple. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, fine. It was a cash bar and it was a vegetarian meal.
Oh my
Oh.
You.
Yeah.
Not of your choosing.
I would have Uber eated Chick-fil-A right there and delivered in.
Back then, there probably wasn't any Uber Eats.
And we were stuck. It was like a riverboat. They were having this, you know, it was called the Peconic Queen. It went down the Peconic River, and we were like stuck on this boat.
Don, can you swim?
You couldn't
Can you
even
swim?
So they
Chrissy
trapped
Vig,
you on a boat.
Chrissy
and they
Viggs on
fed you
Facebook just asked me if my wedding was at Hunka Bunka Ballroom. Not if you're from Jersey, you know what Hunka Bunka Ballroom is. So
Evan, what's
Well,
the
you-
thing you've got?
say what?
Oh, it's the back of your puppy. Hi, puppy.
That is the back.
Oh.
Oh my god. It's so tight. It's like a little animatronic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It is. It's so cute.
It's a little dog. What's its name?
Her name is Kiki. She's a rescue dog. She's from the show. She's pretty.
Aw.
She's a good girl.
Aww.
All right, everybody show up. Last thing of the night, show us your pets.
Oh,
Oh, he's upstairs.
sleeping.
Go get them.
Where's
It's
Lee?
easier to get you.
Tim, what's your dog's name?
Can you say?
Where'd you go?
Say.
He's left.
Casper.
Last thing in the night, show off your pet.
They're like, show your pets.
Well,
Oh, I hear somebody's growling.
Oh, I know. Somebody's growling.
so this
Beautiful
one is
golden.
Penny.
This is Atticus.
Wait, I'm gonna try and spotlight all of you. All right,
Yeah,
just go
this
around.
is-
Just each of you.
This is
Guys.
one of our two
Hi, Garth.
selfies.
I
This
have no
one's
pets.
Penny.
Hi, baby.
Oh.
Hi. Hi. Where's Chip? Oh, there's Chippy. There's Chip.
Oh, wait, I gotta look.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking or not.
My dog's upstairs. He's got bad legs. He can't come down, but that's my dog.
Oh.
Oh. Come here, Cat.
There they are.
Oh my God, Nicholas and Kevin
From
dogs are
Darlene.
so cute.
It's your turn.
Mine are outside.
Oh, Jesus, honey.
We're late to the party, but I got one.
Aw.
And this one is Pepper.
So wait, where's? All right, there's somebody with a.
Oh.
This is Hobbs.
Hi, Hobbs.
Yeah,
Oh,
hi,
look
Hobbs.
good. How cute. You boys ready? Come on.
Yeah, now the cats are coming out. That's it. Bring them out.
Come on. This is Cassie.
Hey, hon.
Oh, mine's
Oh, she's sweet.
There she
Good
is.
boy.
Oh, with the bell.
She's not.
Okay.
Where'd she go?
Here you go.
Oh.
Becky, is that your new baby?
This is Nala.
Aw.
Yeah, almost 1 year old.
There you go.
God,
Big girl.
that
Good.
dog is huge. Amber, your dog is huge.
She's a Vizsla.
Oh, Vizsla. Yeah.
Oh, my friends have
Outside.
them.
Aw.
We had a friend with a Vizsla that lived to be 19 years old.
Holy
Oh my
cow!
gosh.
Come, boys.
They are
Who
super
does not
hype.
like this? I have to put him down.
Andrew, your cat is like the one from Hocus Pocus.
Yes, yeah. Her name's
Binks.
Ow.
She's very heavy. By the way.
Gabby, your pet is.
Who has Stitch?
We don't have any pets.
That's amazing.
Hey, Lou, hurry
Yeah,
up
where's
before
she
I
at?
bleed.
Wait, let me get him.
I don't have an
Oh,
angel.
wait.
No.
Oh.
Aw.
That is not a happy cat.
No, it looked like, oh, there you go.
That's as much as you got, huh, Don?
Well, like I said, hurry up before I start bleeding.
Oh, Figment.
When is he from?
Is lady down here? Is lady down here? So I want to show her.
Not real pet.
I'm live. This is live on.
I like it.
It's okay. I have a stuffed toy too.
Oh, this is Ariel.
Aw.
Look her up.
No.
We have an Aladdin and Jasmine, but they're out wherever they are out there.
I have a Lily as well.
There you go. Anybody want to see a 20-pound cat?
Holy cow.
A
Wait, let me
Baymax.
find Becky.
I love
Hold on.
Baymax.
Love
Becky's
that.
Wait, I gotta find Becky's. I gotta find Becky's window. Wait a minute.
Tokyo Disney.
Hey,
So-
Becca.
Oh my God.
Gee.
Chico.
Holy
Gandhi.
cow.
That
That's
is
a big cat.
Oh, our cat is.
A miniature
Where is
golden.
he?
No.
Where's the other kitty, Becky?
Everywhere.
Is that a Maine Coon?
Yes.
There you are.
Oh
What?
my gosh.
Lisa, bring out your dog.
Oh, God.
Becky, you clearly feed them well.
Where is Lisa? Is Lisa here? I need to see Deli.
Where's Deli?
I have missed Deli so much.
Becky just tosses the cat.
He just jumped. He just
I
totally jumped
know.
on my arms.
Where is
He's my middle
That's
kid.
great.
That's what cats do is just jump.
I know. My one cat used to jump from our like our stairwell down to the floor. I'm like, can you take the stairs?
The cat I was holding, he's 22 pounds. He's a Norwegian forest cat.
Oh my
they're
gosh.
huge.
Those are giants.
he likes to be held when he wants to be held, and tonight he didn't want to be held.
Look, there's my Deli. Hello, Deli.
God.
Lisa's so happy.
Look at the size of them.
Oh, I miss you so much.
It's a horse. It's a horse.
I miss you, Deli.
Scooby Dooby
Wow.
Doo. Get it right.
Puppy. He's so sweet. Yay.
That's a tall dog.
So who runs longer?
Okay.
Does Lisa
gonna-
run longer or Deli?
Say hi.
Run longer?
Yeah. Who can run longer?
Oh, me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's a couch potato.
That's awesome.
So, Lisa, I want to let you know the whole house smells like Main Street, USA.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yay. I'm so glad. That's awesome.
Give you a little plug.
Oh, there's Caleb's.
Oh,
Caleb
Mel's.
found his dog.
Oh,
Yeah. I was like trying to find her. Say hi.
dog
What?
said no.
He's like, what's going on?
He's like, you say hi.
Why are you looking at me?
I love that your hands are crossed.
Well, this is the first meet of the month with pets, so
This is awesome.
Yeah.
How's someone? Oh, say hi.
Hey.
Hi.
cats are so
snacky.
They're so cute, those puppies.
They are adorable.
What kind of dogs are those?
Long hair
This is a
chihuahua.
Mine's a
long-haired what?
Catahoula hound.
Long hair chihuahua. And Chanel is Mackie's mom. So this is her little boy.
No.
Chanel.
What's the boy's name?
Mackie.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Chanel Mackie.
Yeah.
Oh.
They have a Russian blue name. Erlio.
yeah, Lou, where are your kids? Not the kids, pet kids, the furry
Out
kids.
there. They're all probably out there together on the couch watching whatever they're watching out there. Which reminds me, I just realized it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's like a typical meet of the month. We've gone for you know, 2.5
hours.
2.5 hours. Yeah.
Isn't this when we're supposed to go ride something?
Yeah, right. We're supposed to eat something. How have we gone this long without eating anything?
I'll pick up corn dogs now.
So then the next one, we all bring a food.
I think that's it. I think because let's assume that we're not going to have a real meet in person in April. We'll like theme it. Like you have to sort of make a Disney themed food item, whether it's a dish from a World Showcase Pavilion,
Or a Star
recreation
Wars
of something you
themed
can get in Walt Disney World, inspired by your favorite.
Oh,
whatever.
You know what?
I know what
you
I'm
could do. I heard someone say Star Wars.
Star Wars
You could wear the
themed.
Ewok outfit.
Oh,
There's no more run.
This is my Ewok outfit.
I swear you should really do the I'm not going to shave until the parks open challenge. I think that would be fantastic on so many levels.
Becky, I did the call on Wednesday. I did the call on Wednesday and I hadn't shaved and it was only like 4 days. And somebody's like, have you not shaved in a couple of months? I'm like, no, I haven't shaved in a couple of days.
That's what I want to see what 30 days does to you.
You don't.
I-
You do not. Although it starts to get soft at some point. So it's like not as
Well, you've got like 60 days now. If the parks literally don't open until June 1st.
remember it's
That's
Florida
fine.
outside. So it's already 98 degrees. So a beard is not going
But
to
you're inside in the air conditioning.
Yeah, what are you doing outside? Why are you outside? You need
I'm
to
not.
be inside. Stay in your house.
That's the story of my life. I don't really leave. I didn't leave the house much before. I'm really not leaving now. And now that food gets delivered, why? Why bother? I'm not saying that I haven't worn pants in a couple of weeks, but I haven't worn pants in a couple of weeks.
I'm just telling you, if people need like work from home tips, I got you. This is my life.
If
So,
I'm not traveling, working from
What's
home.
this about
normal.
living in Florida and you can't have a beer in the summer? You can take that excuse off the table.
You need yours. You need yours. So.
Oh my gosh.
But well, guys, hopefully this was fun for you. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it. Like I said, I needed this as much as you guys maybe did. So thank you for doing this for me.
Thank
and
you
with
for
me.
doing it.
Yes,
this
thank
was
you.
a lot of fun.
Slew.
You guys are amazing.
I'm heading to bed.
It's what is it?
Yeah,
5
I'm
o'clock
gonna
in the
head
morning
to
there in the
bed
UK.
I know,
Thanks,
right?
lost
Oh my
3.
goodness.
Just after 3 a.m.
I am giving you guys a non-sweaty virtual hug.
Don't go back on the porch. Why?
Say it.
Okay.
Hey Lou,
he's
switch
not
the
talking.
screen back to you.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how you do that either, but you
There
were
we go.
doing
How's
it.
that?
Okay, there you go.
Hey.
No offense, Kevin.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, for some reason on speaker view, I don't know why it wasn't
What's
bouncing
cool is
back
that
to doing it.
if you don't want to look at all of you just go up to the right and you can pull up the Brady Bunch view again.
Yeah, that's how I've been doing it, just so I can scroll across to all the different views. But
I apparently just like staring at Lou, so yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know why.
Somebody get that girl some Hulu. She needs something else to watch.
God, I have
Seriously, thank you. Like, there's so much more that you could be doing tonight, and I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, sleep.
Spending.
Yep, I'm doing that too.
Spending the night
Working
with
on a
me,
puzzle.
So we'll do this again next month, I promise. And seriously, if there's some way that I can help you, like personally or professionally, like reach out. Clearly, none of us are going anywhere, so I'm here to help you guys any way that I can.
You have a new Terry Rex video.
I'm sorry that you cut out. So,
Thanks, Lou.
all right, guys.
Thank you, Lou.
I love you guys.
Bye.
Good night. Thank you again.
Good night.
Thank you.
Love and
Hi,
hugs,
good night, everybody.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Choose
See
a
you
good.
Thursday, Darlene.
Yes. Talk to you Thursday.
Good night, all.
Good.
Bye, guys.
Wash your hands.
Stay safe and healthy.
You always wash your hands.
You have to
Why
be
is this
told
you?
it's already a problem.
Make sure your video feeds are at least 6 feet apart.
See you guys.
Hey, Lou,
Later.
I found a first edition right here.
Wow.
Autographed.
Out of print. Not
Out of
available in
print.
stores.
That was my son brought it down. He had it in his room. I go, yeah, I've been looking for that for about 5
Tell him
years.
he can get like $1.25 on eBay for that. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys. Thanks
Good
again.
night.
Bye, Becky.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.